step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Here we go, here we go. It's your Wednesday morning. Good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso right here on SABC3 on a very, very special Wednesday indeed. My brother, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning to you. Good morning to you, beautiful people.
I like your shirt.
And welcome to it. I was going to say, you're looking really dapper this morning.
Thank you, thank you.
How proud do you feel to be South African today? It is Mandela Day, but not just any Mandela Day. Of course, it would have been Tata Madiba's centenary celebration this year, so a special relevance to your 67 minutes today. In fact, this entire year gives us an opportunity to live in the service of others. So please connect with us, send us those motivational messages, quotes. We've been going through some amazing quotes from Tata Madiba. Today is all about celebrating the legend, the legacy of one of the greatest, I want to say South Africans, but human beings ever.
Absolutely. Get into that spirit and just take into account what this incredible man has done throughout the course of his life to make what we have today a reality.
I love that. So we're going to be highlighting some incredible initiatives throughout the day. The Plantable campaign, I know our Zoe was involved down in Durbs, using the power of sport to empower the youth, something Tata Madiba would have loved.
Also something to be proudly South African today. Wikimania, we know it is one of the world's largest online encyclopedias. Now the Wikimania conference is taking place right here in South Africa for the very first time. And we're going to be finding out exactly what is going to be going down. We use it, man. We use it. I use it every day.
I've stopped thinking because I use it so much. Then, of course, I think to honor Tata Madiba's memory and his legacy, we had to bring in a youth choir, and I've just heard them warming up.
Brilliant.
The singing sensations, they are phenomenal, and they are here just for you this morning.
Absolutely. And if you really want to get into the spirit of Tata Madiba and his birthday, and you want to buy some fitting tributes, maybe shirts, I'm just saying, we're going to show you exactly where to head.
Oh man, it's going to be an inspirational day. And of course, you are the most important part, so stay connected with us. At Expresso Show is the handle to use. But right now, let's say a very good morning and a happy Mandela Day to our gorgeous Liam.
A happy Mandela Day to you too, team. Thank you so much. And a happy Mandela Day to you at home. Let's get you caught up on what's happening in the news. Former US President Barack Obama delivered the annual Nelson Mandela Lecture at a packed Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg yesterday afternoon. He said Madiba's vision guided the world on the meaning of progress at the end of the 20th century. Earlier, Graça Machel reflected on her late husband's legacy, saying Madiba weaved a colourful tapestry with generations of great leaders who fought for freedom. President Cyril Ramaphosa described Madiba as a man we are all proud to call the founding father of our united, non-racial, non-sexist and democratic South Africa. South Africans believe they are less safe than people in Palestine and Libya. Venezuelans believe their country is the most dangerous. South Africans feel that their country is more dangerous than occupied Palestinian and war-torn Libya and is the 6th most dangerous nation in the world, a new study has found. The 2018 Gallup Law and Order report released yesterday found that only people in Gabon, South Sudan and Afghanistan believe their nations were more dangerous than South Africa. Venezuelans believe their country was the most dangerous. The study was based on interviews with some 148,000 people in 142 countries. Now moving further abroad, Africa's first online database on education research idea is to raise the visibility and impact of research in Africa. An open access database on education research conducted by Africa-based researchers has been launched to raise the visibility and impact of such research. The database, which has about 2,000 education research studies, including the theses and working papers on 49 African countries, resulted from the collaboration between the Research for Equitable Access and Learning Centre at the UK-based University of Cambridge and the Education Sub-Saharan Africa, a charity with a mission to transform educational outcomes on the continent. And then finally, Spain's Pedro Sanchez promises new law on sexual consent results on an incident during the famous Pamplona bull running festival, which is Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. And of course, he told the parliament that his centre-left government would introduce a new law on sexual consent to remove ambiguities in rape cases. Now, announcing the measure yesterday, he said that sex without explicit consent would be considered rape. It follows a notorious sex attack on a woman during the famous bull running festival in Pamplona, when 5 men who called themselves the Wolf Pack were convicted of sexually assaulting the young woman in 2016, but acquitted of rape. The decision led to street protests. Well, that was your 6 o'clock news update. Here's a look at what's happening in the world of sport. Graham has all the details.
So with the World Cup done and dusted, we turn our attention back to our local football league, and Ajax Cape Town CEO Ari Efstathio has confirmed that the club plans to halt the start of the new PSL season due to the ongoing Tendai Ndoro saga. So at the end of last season, Ajax were immediately relegated after they were docked points for fielding the ineligible Ndoro. However, the relegation was thrown into doubt after Judge Denise Fisher ruled in favour of Ajax last month. Despite Ajax's plans, the PSL is still set to begin on the 4th of August. And staying with continental football now, Mamelodi Sundowns are still in search of their first win in the CAF Champions League group stage. And that's, of course, this season as they lost out to Togo Port by a goal to nil yesterday. Togo Port sealed the win thanks to a 39th minute goal from Ai Hunlede. So the result leaves Sundowns in last place in their Group C, 3 points behind leaders Wydad Casablanca. Up next, Downs will face off with Togo Port in a must-win reverse fixture next week, Friday. Then on to cricket. New Cricket South Africa CEO Thabang Moruo has confirmed that he is committed to making sure that the Global T20 League takes place this year. With the teams and players confirmed, the first ever edition of the Global League was set to take place last year, but the tournament was scrapped at the last minute, reportedly due to a lack of main sponsor. So the tournament looks set to be launched at the end of this year. Then finally on to cycling. Frenchman Julien Alaphilippe. He has earned his maiden Tour de France stage victory yesterday as he crossed the line first in stage 10. The Quick-Step team rider made his move with under 30 Ks to go and held on to his advantage as he won the 158-kilometer stage in 4 hours, 25 minutes and 27 seconds. Daryl Impey finished as the highest-placed South African in 72nd place, 18 minutes behind the stage winner. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Right, let's quickly take a first look at your weather and your temperatures. It's your Wednesday morning and a very special one at that as well. But it seems like most parts of the country can expect a chilly start to the morning, reaching mild maximums a little bit later on, and no rain expected across South Africa. Your temperatures: Polokwane 1 minimum, reaching a high of 16 degrees. Mbombela on 7 minimum, your maximum 19. Pretoria 317. Johannesburg 1 minimum this morning with the maximum 15 degrees. Mahikeng 2 minimum, your maximum 17. Klerksdorp -1 this morning, 17 is your maximum. Kimberley 118, Bloemfontein -3, nice and cold this morning, staying cool with a maximum 16 degrees. Richards Bay 1121, Pietermaritzburg 4 and a high of 20. Durban 1321, Mthatha 221. East London starting off on 12, reaching a mild maximum of 24 degrees. Cradock on 2 minimum, your maximum 20. Port Elizabeth 1224, George 1626. Sutherland on 5 minimum, staying cool with a maximum 14 degrees. Cape Town 1424 today, Worcester 822, Springbok 1223, and Uppington starting off on 7 minimum, your maximum 20 degrees Celsius. And that's a wrap of your weather for the 6 o'clock bulletin. As always, I'll keep you updated throughout the course of your morning. I'm back in half an hour's time just after 6:30 with another update.
Well, we live in a world that is constantly changing and life is just getting so much faster by the day. So as we welcome today, such an iconic day, auspicious day, the 18th of July, we're going to take a look at what happened in history on this day.
Certainly a lot of history now. July 18th, 1959, against all odds, in fact, it was an American, William Wright, who became the first person of color to win a major golf tournament with his victory as the US Amateur Public Links Championship.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
making
William
history.
writes. Now, on this day in 1986, footage from the first manned mission to the wreckage of the Titanic was released to the public, showing incredible images of the famous ocean liner that sank over 70 years previously.
Unbelievable. Wow. And then also on this day in 2010, it was the first official Nelson Mandela Day that was declared by the UN in 2009, encouraging us all to celebrate the life and the legacy of Tata Nelson Mandela and asking us to do, our own small part to make the world a better place.
That's right, live his legacy. Well, that's our bite-sized dose of history. Seize the day and make it one for the books.
Man, I love that smiling face. Oh, so hopefully by the end of today, you will also be adorning a beautiful T-shirt like that. It actually represents an opportunity for you to support Mandela Day, support initiatives, and of course with one of our partners, Woolworths, with the Million T-shirt campaign. And they just look awesome, apart from anything else, but we'll give you all the details.
They do, man, they do. You look awesome, just
Thanks,
saying,
man.
just saying. Listen, and then also on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, some parent advice, because I think I'm fast approaching this topic with my eldest.
Oh, boy.
How to talk to your children about puberty.
Oh,
we
boy.
have parent coach Laura Markovitz with us in studio to run us through exactly what it is that us parents stand to do.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to head to the socials this morning. It is Madiba Day that we are celebrating in South Africa, and I believe all across the world as well. We want to know from you, what are you going to be doing to spend your 67 minutes to help change the world for the better? Eloise kicks us off saying, I'm going to be delivering baby goods to Tygerberg Hospital's neonatal ICU. This initiative is not only for Mandela Day, but also because we're celebrating our son Daniel's second birthday today. How wonderful combining those two wonderful occasions. Happy birthday, Daniel. Matlatse says, I'm going to be at Swele Pele Daycare by cleaning and preparing food for the children to honor Tata. Also, Sabele says, I'm going to be spending my 67 minutes by cleaning the roads in Pietermaritzburg. And then also Nathan saying, I'm going to spend the whole day helping anyone who needs help, whatever it may be. I want to help. We love that attitude. Thank you so much to Nathan Paul and for everybody else. Let's make a huge difference on this Madiba Day and, of course, throughout the year ahead.
So as much as we love all of these campaigns that are lasting the entire year, hopefully an entire lifetime's worth of sentiment, today is the day. Had our beloved elder statesman and first democratically elected president Dr. Nelson Mandela been living today, he would be turning 100 years old. And because he is a man revered not only for his incredible actions, but his words of wisdom too, he continues to live on in the legacy we have built for him and should continue building every day in honor of what he did for us. And of course, since today is Tata Madiba's centenary year, every day this month, we've been taking a look at some of the most evocative and profound insights that he has shared with us during his lifetime, something that we can live by every day.
That's right. Well, today's words of wisdom truly encapsulates the meaning behind the purpose of Nelson Mandela Day. And the quote is, "There can be no greater gift than that of giving one's time and energy to helping others without expecting anything in return."
Oh, you could live every day of your life like that, not just Mandela Day. South Africa and the world is, I think, definitely a better place because of the sacrifices that struggle icons like Nelson Mandela made while fighting for the struggle alongside some formidable heroes. Celebrate them all today. So we encourage you to go out there and spread a little bit of Tata Madiba's spirit and his magic with your own 67 minutes going towards those in need. Happy 100th birthday, Tata. In us, your spirit and your energy live on.
I think it's such a fitting quote going into this Wednesday as we celebrate Tata Madiba's centenary year. It's his birthday today. And just as it is people going out celebrating their 70 or 67 minutes to make a difference in somebody else's life, please just remember that today should be like every other day as well. We should be making a difference in people's lives every day, wherever possible, wherever we can as well. Now, check out our T-shirt. I think it looks pretty cool. Now, this is the official Tata Madiba Nelson Mandela centenary T-shirt. And you have a choice. You can either wear your heart on your sleeve, or if you're not one for sleeves, you can do it with a T-shirt like this one to make a difference in someone's life. And here's how you can do it.
The Nelson Mandela Foundation and Trade Core Investments Apparel have taken on a grand venture to unite the global community in the spirit of Madiba.
The campaign is about an iconic T-shirt that commemorates the centenary year of the father of our nation, Nelson Mandela. And it's a T-shirt that depicts the image of Nelson Mandela, made up of 240 words that are associated with his vision, his legacy, and that depicts his wisdom. Words like selflessness, love, hope, peace, tolerance, and patience. This idea was conceptualized by our CEO, Herman Pillay, in collaboration with the Nelson Mandela Foundation, and they came up with this concept of an intent to put 1 million T-shirts on the bodies of people across the world that commemorates the centenary year of Nelson Mandela.
Text and the phrases and words in the image, that 240 words was substantially bigger initially. We were close to 4,000 words. All words were selected from the Nelson Mandela Book of Quotes and Phrases, and that went through to about 7 or 8 people.
Each T-shirt will retail at 150 Rand at stores around South Africa. And aside from the good you can do by buying one, it's a really special tee.
The ink we use is a water-based ink. It carries 100% eco passports. It's got Ecotex approval. All raw ingredients are imported, but all manufacturing is done locally. The pros of water-based ink is there's no texture to the print. It's breathable. Whereas oil-based ink, you can't iron on it. It'll smudge. It's made up of PVC and polymers, and it is generally not as eco-friendly as water-based inks. The benefits of oil-based inks are you can print so much more. But with water-based inks, it's a slow printing ink, but your quality is substantially better.
Well, now I'm grown, working, and now I'm working on the Nelson Mandela T-shirt, so which is a privilege for me to be working on his T-shirt. It's such a great honor, and I'm loving it.
For me, it was a great experience working on the Mandela T, because seeing that he left us this legacy, and for us to remember him, that is one way for me, working on the T-shirt, that I feel it is super great.
Throughout the centenary year from 2018 into 2019, there'll be a number of significant events and parallel campaigns taking place.
The first campaign that we have, which is probably the most exciting, is at the annual lecture that commemorates the centenary day, is a guest speaker in the form of former President Barack Obama, who will be addressing distinguished guests. So we're quite excited about that. The second initiative, which is Mandela Fridays, appeals to people to wear this fantastic, iconic T-shirt every Friday to create awareness about the centenary year. And thirdly, we have the CEO challenge, which is CEOs being able to challenge each other to either buy these T-shirts, to stock them in their stores, or to distribute them to their employees to help drive this campaign. So throughout the centenary year, we have fantastic initiatives lined up. Words such as hope, love, tolerance, patience, integrity. These are values that each of us should practice, taking the lesson from the father of our nation in terms of how he was able to forgive, let go of the past, focus on the future, drive peace, drive love, and most of all, instill hope in some of the worst situations in our country. I think these are examples of how the everyday person can draw on this campaign for themselves as individuals.
Ah, very, very cool indeed. Love these T-shirts, man. Right now, though, on to some parenting matters. And as a parent, there aren't many talks that can make both you and your preteen feel comfortable, because some of those conversations rather seem to steer in the more uncomfortable direction. But for many, one of those uncomfortable talks is on puberty. But why is this important to discuss it with your child? Puberty. Parent coach Laura Markovich joined us this morning in studio to chat to us and give us some information. Hello, Laura.
Hi.
We've been having a bit of a giggle on this. This is a big topic. This is a big topic. Firstly, why do you think it's so important to have this conversation with your child? Does it still happen in the modern day and age?
Well, I think it's happening more and more in the modern age, and needs to be happening more and more in the modern age, because it's a time, puberty is a time when our kids are moving from being a child and moving into adulthood, and their bodies are changing. They're going through physical changes, emotional changes. So there are big things happening, and sometimes that can be really challenging. And they're being exposed to things really a lot earlier than a lot of us were through exposure to the internet. So it can be a time that we can actually just help them to contextualize what's happening to them, demystify what's happening to them, take away any associated shame that they might feel with what's happening, so that we can normalize what's going on and allay their fears and worries. And I mean, there's actually recent studies, Always conducted a study recently that showed in South Africa, they interviewed a whole lot of South African teens, and they found that 59% of the kids that they interviewed said they really wished they'd known more about puberty and been more prepared. So we got to kind of take heed of that and go, well, okay, well, we need to be telling our kids more about this.
Yeah, because I'm sure, I mean, taking a look at the available information, the internet, cell phones, social media, I mean, a teen's gauge can be off. You know, if a parent steps in and they're able to relay that information in a correct way, I think it'd be great. Yeah. And it's a tough job for parents, I think, because kids are different. If I take a look at myself, when I was going through my puberty, I was a very emotional, child, and I didn't say much or talk much or ask much, so I was kind of internalizing everything, which made it very dangerous, leaning on maybe you could possibly go into a sense of depression. So there's so much to take into account. But when would you say is the right time to start addressing this? What should parents be looking out for?
Yeah, well, I think early, earlier rather than later.
What is early?
So I would say any time from about 7, 8 that we are starting to talk
about. I've got
about.
A year left.
quickly. So, things like, when I say, I don't think we should be having the talk. Yeah. It's not about having that once-off conversation. It's actually about pointing things out from early. Yeah. So noticing bodies are different, talking about it, what do you see, not shying away from that. And then it does mean absolutely managing our own experiences of how we experienced puberty, how we would have liked to have improved our experience of puberty. Yeah. Taking that into account, and then knowing that we don't have to know it all. It's okay to say to our kids, I'm not quite sure what's happening with that. Let's find out together. Yeah. Let's actually check that out. So I would say to go early. Some kids are going through puberty as young as 9. So some girls are getting their periods as young as 9. Sure. So, if we are waiting for the onset of puberty, we might be waiting too late to actually tackle some of the challenges that kids are going through.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. We're going to continue this conversation because I really also want to know is how do you approach this topic with your child? You say, sit down, let's have a talk now, or how do you do it to make it, a little bit less, I think, uncomfortable on both you and your preteen as well? Laura Markovich joining us this morning. Big topic, it's puberty on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, you're probably wondering, what are all these soccer balls doing here? Well, it's part of a really really cool initiative. It's called the Plantable initiative. We'll get to tackle that after the break and tell you a little bit more. As we know, Tata Madiba loved using sport as a tool to unite a divided South Africa, and that and a whole lot more still coming up.
I had to, man. I was going through World Cup withdrawal, and I absolutely love that, empowering through sport and empowering through an incredible new, I think, event that's going to be hitting South Africa. Wikimania is coming. You can go look it up on Wikipedia if you want to find out more, but we'll give you a little bit more after the break. Game on.
Meet the remaining finalists on Presenter Search on 3. From Johannesburg, Shannon Leibach is a drama student at Wits University and part-time scuba diver.
My name is Shannon Leibach and I am an actor. I decided to be an actor because I love to entertain people. Because I'm so sexy. The dimple, I have a dimple. No, much more better. It is a drawing of a key. I love Disney. I can see what's happening. What? And they don't have a clue who. They'll fall in love, and here's the bottom line. Our trio's down to 2. Can you feel the love tonight? I want to be a TV presenter because it turns acting on its head. Acting is all about being someone else. TV presenting is about being yourself. The moment that Jeannie D saw a shark, did she not, her regulator come out of her mouth, and she was dying until your boy Shan pulled through with my octo, gave it to her, and saved the day. The type of TV presenter that I want to be is loud, exciting, but also can have a conversation with anyone from all over the world. I'm eccentric, but I'm humble, so those two combined is very interesting. This is me, diving into the top 10. Watch it, here we go. Woo!
Catch all the drama as contestants compete to become one of 3 new presenters on SABC3. That's Presenter Search on 3, Thursday night at 7:30. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in on this incredibly important day. It is Mandela Day, and I think all of us know that Tata Madiba was a fierce advocate for the power of sport in its ability to unite, to heal this nation. That energy certainly flowed through in the 1995 Rugby World Cup that changed the course of this country's consciousness, I think, and of course in 2010 it continued to flow. Well, harnessing that spirit, Total Sports and Fives Football have joined forces with some incredible influencers out there to spread this love of sport, but more importantly, its ability to empower with their Plant a Ball initiative. They've pledged to deliver 500 soccer balls to disadvantaged communities. So I'd like to welcome our very special guest this morning, Zoe Brown. Welcome to the show. Zeebles, you were a part of this really awesome campaign. You know how much I love the idea of sport being used as a tool to develop. How did you get roped in? What was that experience like?
Well, for me it was, you know, I had lunch with Adam from Fives Football and I was telling him how I feel like I'm not utilising my platform enough. I feel like, but if I look at my day-to-day schedule, I don't have time to squeeze out more. And he's like, well, Zoe, you need to jump on board someone else's ideas and initiatives. So he invited me along with the Plant a Ball initiative. It's alongside Fives Football and Total Sports. And it was such a cool opportunity. I got to go to Durban, and the whole idea was to take 67 balls and to plant it, but the whole point of the ball is to use it as a catalyst to, you know, to inspire, to motivate, and just to spark that hope in communities that really, really need it.
What was that moment like? Because for me, doing these sorts of things, there's always that one moment, that emotional feeling that wells up when you maybe look at one particular child or you see the effect of what you're doing. What was that experience like?
It was really cool. I mean, the kids, they absolutely love soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. So for them to have seen all these balls being approached, they were so excited. We were there with, like, I felt like more than 67 balls. But I think the fun thing was I got to play with the kids, and they did all these different activities and drills, and they immediately utilized the balls. And I mean, I am clumsy, but I can kick a ball. The kids could kick a ball, I could run after it, and I really enjoyed the physical aspect of playing and seeing them laugh and making them laugh and just being there for that. That was really, really special.
I know we highlight the importance of 67 minutes on Mandela Day, but something like this speaks to a much bigger campaign, a long-term partnership. Why do you think it's so important to have partners like Fives Football, that we now know the brand really well, Total Sports, we really know the brand? Why do you think these kind of partnerships are so important, and bringing in influencers like yourself?
I think it's incredible because, I mean, how many people can utilize one soccer ball at a time? I mean, you can, 20 people or less, they can all play. And the great thing is, by taking a soccer ball, you can be like, hey, you know what, let's go play outside. Or, hey, I got this ball, we can play a really cool game. And it really is a distraction. But I think what they know is that a soccer ball cannot solve all of Africa's issues, but it can lead to the thing or the person that can. And sometimes you just need to spark that ignition and just use the ball as a catalyst to make sure that, more good can come from this.
Absolutely love it. We've had some amazing nominations come through. Of course, we are giving you guys the opportunity. If you go to plantable.co.za, you can pledge and make your donation and also track the delivery of those balls. And we've had some amazing nominations come through. Anita Excellent saying, I nominate Catherine Brink of Little Brinks NPO, so hopefully you guys will be receiving your ball. I'd like to nominate Mr. Mark Nicholson, this coming from Rukeya Spannenberg, for the amazing work that he does in Lavender Hill, so hopefully your football will be coming soon. I nominate Little Brinks. Little Brinks are obviously doing something amazing, so you guys, maybe we'll get a few more balls to you, but please keep those special messages coming through. We absolutely love the fact that we've made it so easy, a plug-and-play option for you to be able to do something truly special through sport. Donate a ball, plant a ball, and just watch it grow.
In the national news this morning, former American President Barack Obama delivered the annual Nelson Mandela lecture at a packed Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg yesterday afternoon. Other speakers included Mandela's widow, Graça Machel, and President Cyril Ramaphosa. South Africans feel their country is more dangerous than occupied Palestine and war-torn Libya, and is the 6th most dangerous nation in the world. Venezuelans, on the other hand, believe that their country is the most dangerous. On the international front, an open access database on education research conducted by Africa-based researchers has been launched to raise the visibility and impact of such research. The database has about 2,000 education research studies, including theses and working papers on 49 African countries. And then finally, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has told Parliament that his centre-left government would introduce a new law on sexual consent to remove ambiguities in rape cases. This follows a notorious sex attack on a woman during the famous bull running festival in Pamplona in 2016. Well, that was your 6:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
Let's kick it off with PSL News. Ajax Cape Town CEO Ari Efthathiel has confirmed that the club plans to halt the start of the new PSL season due to the ongoing Tendai and Doro saga. Mamelodi Sundowns are still in search of their first win in the CAF Champions League group stage this season as they lost out to Togo Port by a 1-0 yesterday. In cricket, New Cricket South Africa CEO Thabang Morue has confirmed that he is committed to making sure that the global T20 League takes place this year. And in cycling, Frenchman Julien Alaphilippe has earned his maiden Tour de France stage victory yesterday, crossing the line first at stage 10. Daryl Impey finished as the highest placed South African in the mixed at 72nd place. More on all of those stories on the top of the hour.
Well, let's take a first look at the roads in KwaZulu-Natal and Pietermaritzburg. On the N3 highway in both directions, the road has been closed at New England, that's Church Street, near Liberty Mall and Town Hill, which have been affected due to the fuel price strikes. So please make use of an alternative route. I'll have another update for you in half an hour.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Right, it's just after 6:30. Let's get into your weather and your temperatures once again for your Wednesday morning. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect rather chilly conditions this morning, but it's shaping up to be a beautiful day all across South Africa, reaching mild maximums in certain places. No rain expected, but I'll run you through those temperatures. Polokwane 1 this morning with a maximum of 16. Mbombela 7 and a high of 19 degrees. Pretoria 3:17. Johannesburg 1:15. Mahikeng 2 minimum, your maximum 17 degrees. Klerksdorp -1 and a high of 17. Kimberley 1:18, Bloemfontein -3 and a high of 16 degrees. Richards Bay 11:21, Pietermaritzburg 4 and a high of 20, Durban 13:21, Tata 2:21, East London 12 and a high of 24 degrees. Cradock 2 minimum this morning with a maximum 20. Port Elizabeth 12:24, George 16:26, Sutherland on 5 minimum reaching a high of 14, Cape Town 14:24, Worcester 8 minimum, your maximum 22, Springbok 12:23, and Uppington on 7 minimum reaching a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 6:30 bulletin. Another update heading your way just after 7.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show as we celebrate and commemorate Tata Madiba on this Madiba Day. We're talking about Meals for Mandela. It's an incredible campaign, and of course, this man, Graham, is involved. We're going to find out more about that a bit later on.
Yeah, very, very excited about that. And then, of course, Wikimania is hitting the mother city. Wikimania 2018 is about to commence in Cape Town. We're going to bring you all of those details and a whole lot more inspiration on this Mandela Day. Stick around.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand, Defy.
Pray to God that it wasn't true.
Solomon Lane is
feel-good breakfast show. There's some exciting things happening in and around South Africa, and it's time for us to catch up with our local entertainment news.
That's right. Now, actress Kim Engelbrecht and Miss Universe Demi Lee Nell Peters might as well just be sisters. Now, they spent some time together ahead of the Nelson Mandela lecture in Johannesburg. Earlier this week, the story broke that Demi Lee has been rumored to be dating NFL quarterback Tim Tebow. And while she, I mean, come on.
Oh, wow.
Tim you are a lucky man, Tim, just letting you know. While she touched down on home soil along with various other big names for the Madiba centenary celebrations, it was very wonderful to see that the country's golden girls are back in South Africa, both her and Kim at the same time. So what a pleasant surprise when Kim and Demi Lee were spotted in South Africa together. And posting a photo on Instagram, the former Isidingo actress wrote, "Yes, Queen, Miss Universe at Demi Lee Nell Peters, you are a beauty." And of course, ending the post with hashtag I am a fan. Now I gotta tell you, Kim and I attended the same high school. If she wanted to, I think she could have entered Miss South Africa and possibly been a Miss Universe herself. She was just like, we were all just like, oh, Kim, you're amazing.
But beautiful, both of them on the outside, on the inside, all round beauties, and doing so incredible.
And so fresh-faced and just like, this is us. We woke up like this, looking amazing. Okay.
We don't look like that when we wake up.
No, we look better than this when we wake up.
Okay.
Absolutely stellar stuff. Kim Engelbrecht, absolutely love you, girl. I hope you're watching right now. So now, time for me to be inspired, and hopefully you guys at home. I get such a buzz when I think about last year. With the help of the team, the incredible team at Kenilworth Centre and their family of sponsors, we partnered with another incredible organisation, Rise Against Hunger, to pack what was supposed to be 45,000. It ended up being 46,000 meals for children facing the harshest reality you could imagine every single day. We also asked schools to rally to our cause, with Lotus High showing the true spirit of Madiba, giving us one of my most inspiring moments last year, undoubtedly. Knowing that as we speak, between 10 and 20 children will die of starvation in South Africa today. This year, we want to honour Madiba by taking our efforts to far greater heights. And a very warm welcome to Alan Young, Marketing Manager of Kenilworth Centre. And now a good mate, dude. Alan, welcome back. I asked you to come in this morning because you, through all of the efforts, and we started out 35,000, then we went up to 40,000 to kind of match your birthday at that time, went up to 45,000, and I think because of the energy of the kids, ended up doing an additional 1,000. But you've, through this process, have never asked me for anything. You've never pushed your brand out there. You've never said, this is what the condition for us being involved, and we're going to take it one step further. But I've got to ask, why for Kenilworth Centre, and it's not just Mandela Day, this is every year, this is an initiative for you. Why do you choose to honour Tata Madiba's legacy in this way? Why Rise Against Hunger?
I think what's important for us is giving back to the community. I think that would be number one. But Tata Madiba said something profound a while ago, and it was, freedom is meaningless if people cannot put food in their stomachs. And for us, it's about the community and giving back to the community that supports us on a daily basis. So it's all about being that central point in the community where we can give back as well. Fantastic teams and getting the community together where they actually pack the meals that gets delivered. Like you said, Lotus High, they were phenomenal.
They were awesome, man. We love it, especially when we took them to go and deliver the meals as well. How good they were with the kids, and just it reinforces, validates all the kind of work that we're doing. There is, yes, an opportunity to use 67 minutes on Mandela Day, but this seems to be a culture that extends far beyond that for you. Why is it important, just maybe on a personal level, to take that spirit of Madiba to every day, not just Mandela Day?
I think on a personal level, and Kenilworth Centre, we're a family. It's always been a community centre, and it's always about giving back and being involved. And it's the small things that we can do. I know 40,000 sounds like a lot, but for us, it's a small way of us that we can give back to the community and continue being involved with community initiatives. Today as well, we're going out later today, and we're giving lunch boxes to kids in our area. Coincidentally, there happens to be 670 kids at the school.
Oh, I love it.
So it's a great way to give back to the community, to be involved, and to show that Kenilworth Centre cares as well.
So let's get real here for a second. I might have had a slightly ulterior motive for bringing you in, and I do love connecting with you, man. But of course, you're ramping it up. So we did 45. You guys were behind the 45,000, 46,000. So this year, you're taking it a step further to honour Madiba to 50,000. But dude, it's the centenary year. 100, surely we can go for 100,000.
I think absolutely. I think when we looked at time levels last year as well, we just made that 46,000 inside our time limit. In fact, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, so we know that we can do 50,000. But I think this year we need a couple of other centres to come on board so that we can get to that 100,000 mark that you want to aim for.
So how about this? You go to all of your competitors, you go to your partners, you throw out that challenge. Even if they come in 1,000, 10,000, whatever you can marshal, I will make sure that Rise Against Hunger meet us there. I'll connect with the schools out there, and let's make a deal right now, right here on Mandela Day, that we're going to pack 100,000 meals for kids this year. That's nearly 400 kids fed for an entire year.
Absolutely. I think for the centenary year, 100,000, we can do this.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And this is something that all of us can do. We're not a massive multinational. We're just two people who are using this platform, this upswing in interest and the impetus behind living the Madiba legacy to do something special. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. That is something that Tata Madiba lived by, and I think you would have been heartbroken to know that about 53 children under the age of 5 die in South Africa every day, and one of the main drivers is malnutrition. This is what we're going to do about that. What are you going to do about it today? Use this platform to do something remarkable in the service of others.
Well, it's a mission that's so very possible. So come on, South Africa, let's get involved. But talking about another kind of mission, Tom Cruise is back for another action-packed blockbuster adventure in the new Mission Impossible Fallout movie. Now, when an IMF mission ends badly, the world is faced with dire consequences as Ethan Hunt takes it upon himself to fulfill his original briefing. The CIA begins to question his loyalty and his motives. And he, of course, finds himself in a race against time, hunted by assassins and former allies while trying to prevent a global catastrophe.
And we've got 3 IMAX cinemas worth of seats in Cape Town, Johannesburg and Durban for you and 3 friends to see a pre-screening of this blockbuster adventure. And of course, we'll be throwing in some popcorn and drinks too. And Mission Impossible Fallout, it opens at IMAX and Ster-Kinekor cinemas. That's on, in fact, it is coming the 27th of July.
That's amazing, but that's not all. Winners also stand a chance of winning one of 8 amazing home cleaning products, making those impossible cleaning missions very possible with Karcher. Now, all these amazing prizes are just an SMS away. Simply text the keyword movie and your name and city to 33728 to stand a chance at winning. The competition closes on Thursday, 19 July at 5 p.m. And of course, those T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
All right, so from movies to accessing information on the interwebs. Yes, Wikipedia, it has been around since 2001. Can you believe it? Almost all of us, we use it on a daily. It's the biggest online encyclopedia in the world, and it is supported by the Wikimedia Foundation. Now, each year they host the Wikimania conference, which is an annual gathering of volunteers from around the world who contribute to this platform. And this year, South Africa plays host for the very first time in Cape Town, and we are joined by Douglas Ian Scott this morning, who's the organizing chairperson for the conference and also the president of Wikimedia in South Africa. Douglas, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I can see the excitement written all over your face, weaved into your beard. I mean, this is exciting stuff, man. Congratulations. What's the history of this Wikimania conference? Why the big deal?
So it was decided back in 2005, that's when the first Wikimania was held, that this was a needed event. It's an important event to bring the community, because it is a global community, people all over the world, bring them together and provide a platform for people to discuss important issues that are relevant to Wikipedia, but not just Wikipedia, open knowledge issues in general. Yeah. So this includes a myriad of other projects at the Wikimedia Foundation, the non-profit organization that runs the servers that Wikipedia is based on, also engage in, such as Wikidata or Wikimedia Commons.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a wealth of information on there, and it's purely because of those volunteers, you know, putting their time in there, because anybody can be a volunteer, right? That's what you mentioned.
That's absolutely right. Anyone can be a volunteer, can edit Wikipedia. You just go to Wikipedia, click the edit page button if you find an article that you're really passionate about and really want to improve. Yeah. And become a volunteer. Okay. It's entirely volunteer generated.
And I love that, man. The significance of hosting Wikimania in South Africa for the first time, in Cape Town, what does that hold?
Well, it's the second time it's come to Africa, the very first time it's come to sub-Saharan Africa. We are delighted to be able to host this year's Wikimania. The main significance for us, though, is how to make Wikipedia more relevant to people in Africa.
Okay.
So
is that the theme?
That is, well, the theme is knowledge gaps, the Ubuntu way forward.
Okay.
And what does that mean? Well, the mission of Wikipedia is to provide the sum of human knowledge to everyone freely, everywhere.
Yeah.
And if we want to provide the sum of human knowledge, then we also need African knowledge. And in order to get African knowledge, we need more people in Africa editing.
Naturally. So this is the main focus of hosting the Wikimania conference here in South Africa, in Cape Town specifically. How can people access it? How can we be part of this event happening?
So there are two ways. There's the first and obvious way. The event is open to the public, although you do have to pay a registration fee, unfortunately. But it's open to the public. You physically go to the event location at the Southern Sun Cape Sun Hotel here in Cape Town, Strand Street, and you can register there. The main conference, the one that's open to the public, is open from Friday until Sunday. So Friday the 20th of July until the 22nd of July.
And I mean, there's more than 500 contributors from around the world pulling through as well. What exactly is going to be going down? What can people expect if they are going to be pulling in?
They can expect a myriad of topics. I think there are just under 80 presentations being given at the event. There's 6 plenaries, and plenaries are sort of the ones that everyone sits in, given by a vast array of different speakers. The overall theme, as you know, knowledge gaps, the Ubuntu way forward, the presentations will be tailored to deal with that. And the purpose of this year's conference and the purpose of the theme is to really get people's minds on how do we better democratize Wikipedia? How do we better get that full representation of world knowledge on Wikipedia and make it a more welcoming community to a more diverse array of different people who want to edit Wikipedia.
Absolutely. I love that, Douglas. Thank you very much, man. I mean, like I mentioned, I think all of us use Wikipedia on a daily, myself included, and it's a brilliant platform just to quickly grab that little piece of knowledge that you might need. So this is phenomenal. I think it's very spectacular. It's going to be in Cape Town. Thank you very much, Douglas. Wikimania 2018's official program. It kicks off on a Friday, and it will continue through till Sunday with more than, like I've mentioned, 500 contributors from around the world. It truly puts the global spotlight on Cape Town and Africa as a whole.
July is alive with everybody giving back and making a difference. So after the break, we're going to find out more about the Nelson Mandela 2018 School Sleepout movement.
Then I think Tata Madiba would have loved our very special guests this morning. They are the singing sensations. They are here to perform just for you. Guys, can we give them a little taste? Just a little taste?
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning us. Time to check out some of those interesting, funny, and as always, slightly random things we have stumbled across on all of our social media feeds. Ladies, what you got?
Well, there's somehow the cat story is just always top of my feed, and I had to share this one with you. Now, there are some families that's just utilizing their cats as the ultimate babysitters. But this kitty cat not only babysits the baby, looks after it, but also cleans itself. Look at that.
Goodness,
that's
multitasking
at its best. What a cute little kitty cat.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
And he's getting a workout as well.
That's
and
right.
baby's being looked after.
Good to see a cat doing something for a change, hey? Like being productive. So, you know what? I get
Was that a cat dig? Did you just have a dig at cats?
I would never. Okay, so I get hangry quite a bit. I really do.
I feel you,
but
girl.
when a kid gets hangry, it's the most hilarious thing in the world. So we wanted to show you this picture of this baby reaching out for food and like just being so hangry when the food just, wow, that is next level. That is next level. That's like The Conjuring. Wow. I almost want to see that again. It was too quick. Can we see it again?
I don't know if I want to see that again.
Okay, I'm not that bad. All right, so here we go.
hungry.
Here we go. Okay, okay, okay. I can't deal with this child. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, take a moment to compose yourself. This one, you know, I doubt Taylor Swift in her life has ever felt like a third wheel, but it actually happened, and at one of her concerts. I think because she just inspires love wherever she goes. She inspired a couple at her Reputation tour stop off in, excuse me, Philadelphia. And right in front of her, a couple got engaged. I hope she said yes. But Taylor Swift posted that she did feel like a bit of a third wheel after this beautiful engagement happened right in front of her.
Why are people always saying to Taylor, I'm going to let you finish. I'm just going to propose to my girlfriend real quickly.
Yeah,
like, they're always stealing her shine, though.
But that couple was quite cute because they met 5 years ago at a Taylor Swift concert, so they felt like it was the best time to get engaged. And then the next evening, they went back to her concert as an engaged couple.
Oh, wow.
So they really Taylor
She'll
fanatics.
perform at their wedding. Oh, man, love it. You can let us know which hashtag #hangrybaby has caught your attention this morning and freaked you out completely. You can share your thoughts with us online, on our Facebook page, on Twitter, using Expresso Show as the hashtag.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, guys. We needed that bit of a laugh. Myself and Laura over here. Love that one, that hangry face. It got us both. Anyways, right now, early on, we spoke about how to approach the topic of puberty with your preteens this morning as a parent, which is a pretty tough topic, I think, to navigate. But Laura is back, our parent coach, running us through all those important details. Laura, so early on, we spoke about the fact when you should start thinking about addressing it, around 7 or so. You mentioned that we should start just noticing on it. But I want to know, how do you approach that? So when you as a parent feel like, okay, there's a need for me to step in, now how do you approach it? What does that situation look like? You sit down, your boy or your girl, in a professional manner and listen, my boy. How does it look? What do you do?
Exactly. I think that's it, is not to make it the intimidating, we need to sit down and have this talk. You know, so you want to make it, and as I said, around the younger the better, to start talking about things so that it doesn't have to kind of culminate in the talk.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you were saying, sometimes it's a little bit intimidating for us to have that kind of conversation, and it might be uncomfortable. So creative ways to be doing it is really to use what's around you. So first of all, when kids are asking us questions, and they will ask a whole lot of questions, especially when they're little, that we actually address those questions, that we talk to them. And it's okay to say, oh, this is a subject I'm a little bit uncomfortable with, but you know what, I know it's important, so we're going to talk about it.
I think my parents took a rather interesting approach, now that you say that, because we never had really the talk, you know, but obviously as a young boy or young girl, you know, you're learning about your body, you're learning about sex, and I know that my mom and dad, they put this little illustrated, very friendly illustrated book. I think they just left it there.
Right.
Just left it there.
There you go, reading
educate yourself, you know, but I think that worked perfectly.
Absolutely. So to have things around that you can access, that they know is going to give you an accurate reflection of what's going on, and then to use things that are around you, things like adverts. You know, when you see an advert on TV for sanitary pads, to be able to say, hey, guys, do you know what that is or what that's used for? What is that? So deodorant, you know, so do you know that your body's going to change? Why would you be using deodorant? That sort of thing. So to use things that are around there, that we can actually just bring it into conversations, that it doesn't feel so intimidating.
Absolutely. It shouldn't be the serious kind of thing. I think it should be part of the fun and the journey of your child growing up. Does the conversation look different between boys and girls?
So yes, obviously different things are happening. So some things that are happening that are very similar in terms of, you know, mood, irritability, that sort of thing, growth spurts. But of course, there's specific things that are happening to girls and specific things that are happening to boys. And it's important that we illustrate those by talking about them. So preparing girls specifically for growing breasts, menstruation, those sorts of things. For boys, talking to them about their penises are going to be growing, testicles, that sort of thing, and they might be having wet dreams, and, you know, those sorts of things, that they're actually aware of what's going to be happening, so that even though it feels uncomfortable, we're talking about it, and that it doesn't feel shameful and intimidating.
Don't
for
shy
them.
away from it.
It's
puberty. You can't go around it. It's going to happen. You've got to go through it. It's great.
And let them know what's happening for each other as well, so that they know what's happening.
Final words of advice. So what could you leave for our parents?
I think for parents to know that it doesn't have to feel so intimidating, that we can have a laugh about it as well, and then to impart on our kids that everybody goes through puberty. This is something that's going to happen to everyone, and it's going to happen at different stages and different times. So to know that you don't have to worry if it hasn't happened exactly as my friends have been happening, to not hold all of that, to know you're going to go through it, you're going to get through it, and it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. Laura, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Our parent coach this morning, Laura Markovitz, absolutely brilliant, giving us some great advice. And to the parents out there, take it easy, exactly. Make it part of the journey, because, I mean, they grow up once, and have fun with them throughout this course of their part of their lives as well.
In the national news this morning, former US President Barack Obama delivered the annual Nelson Mandela lecture at a packed Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg yesterday afternoon. He said Madiba's vision guided the world on the meaning of progress at the end of the 20th century. Earlier, Graça Machel reflected on her late husband's legacy, saying Madiba weaved a colourful tapestry with generations of great leaders who fought for freedom. President Cyril Ramaphosa described Madiba as a man we are all proud to call the founding father of our united, non-racial, non-sexist and democratic South Africa. South Africans believe they are less safe than people in Palestine and Libya. Venezuelans, however, believe their country is the most dangerous, and South Africans feel their country is more dangerous than occupied Palestine and war-torn Libya, and is the 6th most dangerous nation in the world. This is what a new study has found. The 2018 Gallup Law and Order report released yesterday found that only people in Gabon, South Sudan and Afghanistan believed their nations were more dangerous than South Africa. Venezuelans believe that their country was the most dangerous. The study was based on interviews with some 148,000 people in 142 countries. Now moving further abroad, Africa's first online database on education research is to raise the visibility and impact of research in Africa. An open access database on education research conducted by Africa-based researchers has been launched to raise the visibility and impact of such research. The database, which has about 2,000 education research studies, includes theses and working papers on 49 African countries, resulted from the collaboration between the Research for Equitable Access and Learning Centres at the UK-based University of Cambridge and the Education Sub-Saharan Africa, a charity with a mission to transform educational outcomes on the continent. And then finally, Spain's Pedro Sanchez promises new law on sexual consent results in after an incident during the famous Pamplona bull running festival. And of course, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has told Parliament that his centre-left government would introduce a new law on sexual consent to remove ambiguities in rape cases. Announcing the measure yesterday, he said that sex without explicit consent would be considered rape. It follows a notorious sex attack on a woman during a famous bull running festival in Pamplona, when 5 men who called themselves the Wolf Pack were convicted of sexually assaulting the young woman in 2016, but acquitted of rape. The decision led to street protests. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
It's Let's kick it off with local football news first. Ajax Cape Town CEO Ari Efstathiou has confirmed that the club plans to halt the start of the new PSL season due to the ongoing Tendai Ndoro saga. At the end of last season, Ajax were immediately relegated after they were docked points for fielding the ineligible Ndoro. However, the relegation was thrown into doubt after Judge Denise Fisher ruled in favour of Ajax last month. Despite Ajax's plans, the PSL is still set to begin on the 4th of August. And staying with football, Mamelodi Sundowns are still in search of their first win in the CAF Champions League group stage this season as they lost out to Togo Port by a goal to 0 yesterday. Togo Port seeing the win thanks to a 39th minute goal from Ai Hulende. So the result leaves Sundowns in last place in their Group C, 3 points behind leaders Wydad Casablanca. Up next, Downs will face off again with Togo Port in a must-win reverse fixture next week, Friday. And on to cricket. New Cricket South African CEO Thabang Marue has confirmed that he is committed to making sure the much talked about Global T20 League will take place this year. With the teams and players confirmed, the first ever edition of the Global League was set to take place last year, but the tournament was scrapped at the last minute, reportedly due to a lack of a title sponsor. And the tournament looks set to be launched at the end of 2018. And then finally onto cycling. Frenchman Julien Alaphilippe has earned his maiden Tour de France stage victory yesterday as he crossed the line first in stage 10. The Quick-Step team rider made his move with under 30 kilometers to go and held on to his advantage as he won the 158-kilometer stage in 4 hours, 25 minutes and 27 seconds. Daryl Impey finished as the highest-paced South African in 72nd place, 18 minutes adrift of the stage winner. I'll touch on those headlines in a half hour or so. Right now, let's see if the roads have woken up.
Well, let's take another look at the roads in the Western Cape in Bellville. There's an accident on the N1 inbound. It's at Jip de Jager Avenue, currently blocking the right lane, so please proceed with caution. And just a quick train update on the Cape Town lines. In fact, the Central Line service is limited with a delay of up to 60 minutes, and this is due to manual authorization of trains and infrastructure problems in various areas, so allow for some extra travel time this morning. I'll bring you another update in half an hour.
Turning air into pristine, clean drinking water. Cirrus Water, the future of sustainable drinking water.
Just after 7 o'clock, let's quickly take another look at your weather and your temperatures. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect a rather chilly start to your Wednesday, but it's shaping up to be a beautiful day all around, reaching mild maximums in certain places. No rain expected though for this Wednesday. Polokwane starting off on 1 minimum, reaching a high of 16 degrees. Mbombela 7 and a high of 19. Pretoria 317. Johannesburg 1 minimum, your maximum 15 degrees. Maikeng 217. Klerksdorp -1 and a high of 17. Kimberley 118. Bloemfontein -3 and a high of 16 degrees. Richards Bay 1121. Pietermaritzburg 4 this morning, warming up to 20. Durban 1321. Tata 2 and a high of 21 degrees as well. East London 1224. Cradock 2 and a high of 20. Port Elizabeth 12 minimum with a maximum 24. George 16 with a maximum 26. Sutherland 5 and a high of 14. Cape Town 1424. Worcester 8 and a high of 22. Springbok 1223. And Uppington starting off on 7 this morning, reaching a high of 20 degrees Celsius. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 7 o'clock bulletin. Another weather update heading your way just after 7:30.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're going to find out a little bit more about the Nelson Mandela 2018 School Sleepout movement, as July is just alive with everybody giving back and doing good.
And then, as we've been saying all morning, of course, Mandela love to invest in the youth, believe they're our most treasured commodity, and of course we're inviting youth from all over the world into our Feel Good studio this morning, all the way from Baltimore in the US of A. It's the singing sensations. Don't give them another taste, they must wait and see you in all your glory, but we'll have a brilliant performance after the break.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand, Defy.
Oh It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso on a beautiful, it's feeling spiritual Mandela Day here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This morning we are joined by two amazing choirs who recently took part in the Ihlombe South African Choral Festival, established in 2009. The festival focuses on collaboration and service and classical movements that feature a true diversity of international choirs, and they are amazing, performing some iconic venues all over the country. And tonight they're going to be taking the stand at the historic St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town from 6 p.m, which is an epic setting. But first, they're going to take the stage and sing for us. And just judging by the sound check already, you guys are phenomenal. Can I please ask the studio to give a resounding welcome to Dr. Holly Hood Mincy, their choir master, or mistress in this case. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
The first thing I heard when I came into studio was you guys doing a sound check, which is amazing. I don't know if you were like warming those voices up since 2 in the morning, but it really is phenomenal too. And especially on Mandela Day, he put so much emphasis on using the arts, on using sport, on using these tools to develop young people. How does it feel to be in South Africa on this day, on Mandela Day?
It feels amazing, and we're glad to be here. It's a great opportunity for us.
This choir clearly has been together for a while. Is this your first time in South Africa?
Actually, we were here in 2013 when Mandela was in the hospital, so we got to be outside and sing outside, yes.
Oh, my word, and obviously an entirely new relevance being what would have been his centenary year. So you're going to perform for us now. What are you going to perform?
Ishe Oluwa.
Absolutely lovely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, guys. You guys better brace yourself for something truly emotional. It's the Singing Sensations. Take it away. Dr. Holly, just come in here and take one last bow, please. Who did the choreography, guys? Oh, man, on point, absolutely on point. Please share some love with this phenomenal outfit. That was a blessing, guys. Thank you so much. What a way to celebrate Mandela Day. Thank you so much to the singing sensations.
Now, July's been alive with many charitable and outreach initiatives taking place in the name of Tata Nelson Mandela. And the 2018 CEO Sleepout movement began last week with a night spent at the historic Lily's Leaf Farm on the 11th of July. That's 55 years after a memorable police capture.
On the 11th of July 1963, apartheid police conducted a raid right here at Lily's Leaf Farm and captured 19 political fugitives. This place was also a hideout for a man who was going under the name David Mutsamai, but he was not here at the time of the raids.
Today, Lily's Leaf Farm stands as a heritage site honouring the haven it provided. So it's only fitting then that the first 2018 CEO Sleepout takes place on the same date 55 years later.
Greg, for those of us who aren't familiar with the CEO Sleepout, what is it all about?
So the CEO Sleepout movement comprises of the CEO Sleepout Trust, Humanitarian and the Philanthropic Collection. And the idea behind it is obviously to raise charity for certain identified beneficiaries. CEOs from across South Africa, and in particular Gauteng, are invited to spend a night out, almost in sympathy with the homeless and with a view to raising charity for certain different charities.
Why the decision to align this initiative with Nelson Mandela and his legacy this year?
Well, I think this year in particular is significant because it would have been his 100th year, his centennial year, and I think everyone in South Africa is trying to do their little bit to give back to communities and to the country in honour of Tata Madiba and his legacy.
And what was the reasoning behind having the first CEO sleep out right here at Lily's Leaf Farm?
Because Nelson Mandela spent a great deal of his time during the struggle years here, Lily's Leaf certainly played a part in his life, and it resonates with everyone. So on this evening, which would have been the 55th anniversary of the raid at Lily's Leaf, I think what better place to have it than here.
Dr. Makaziwe Mandela Amua, the eldest surviving child of Nelson Mandela with his first wife Evelyn Masse, endorses the Sleep Out movement as part of her striving to embody her father's values.
And why did you decide to become a patron of the CEO Sleep Out movement?
Mainly because I think they're doing a fabulous job in terms of raising money for philanthropic causes. And this is something that Tata would have embraced and supported vehemently, because he believes that those who are fortunate have to contribute to uplift those who are less fortunate.
The CEOs and business leaders taking part in tonight's Sleep Out will all be contributing to a list of beneficiaries, including the Salvation Army, the Kunu Food Security Project, Lily's Leaf Farm and Museum itself, as well as the Salvation Army. As the Pan-African Ambassador for Food Security in Africa, why is it important to partner specifically with the CEO movement?
It is very important for me because then they have a structure in place. And I've been saying this is what we need, something that is organized. And I cannot tell you how hard these girls have worked from the CEO Sleepout. Everybody, the whole team, have had sleepless nights putting all this together. And for me, this is a template. This is what Africa needs. So I'm hoping that they will also join me as I take this initiative across the continent. So it was very important for me, and I'm really grateful and thankful that they've got that vision. So it's going to make it a lot easier for me. They reach out to masses and they're very visible, so it's going to help a lot.
As these industry professionals hunker down for a night to be reminded of the harsh reality facing many South Africans, let's all remember to do our bit to carry on the legacy of Utata.
Now, that was round one of the 2018 CEO's Sleep Out, Schools Sleep Out, and of course with round two comprising of school learners around the country sleeping out in their school grounds, of course, this evening, and all the proceeds that are raised is going to under-resourced schools around the country. So joining us this morning to talk about this amazing initiative and, of course, their involvement in the Sleep Out tonight are Director of the Movement, Leanne McGowan, along with Learner Ambassadors Janke van Skalkwyk from Hoërskool Piketberg and Pumlani Nunu from Noorderpaal Hoërskool. Noorderparel or Noorderpaal? Noor de Pa. I was saying to Pumlani, I said, you know, I've got this thing, whenever I see somebody cute, I just go, that is so Nunu. I'm not going to do that with you, because of course, street cred, guys.
No,
Street cred.
in one sentence, you've completely destroyed his street cred. It's out the window, buddy. And now we're going to have a nice, cute little sleepover tonight, just to confirm it. No, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love this. We love what today embodies because it creates a platform for us to do something truly amazing. We speak so much about empowering the youth. Well, the youth have to empower themselves. That's the most important part. And Leanne, maybe I can start with you. Is that why you have involved the schools for this sleepout? Are you prepared for what's going to come tonight?
We are. We've done this once or twice. I think the school program has been part of the movement since inception. We've always believed it's important that kids from as young as possible learn about empathy, learn about giving, learning about the concept of how they need to change their societies, their communities, and the world. It's not up to the big people, it's up to the little people. And especially this year for Nelson Mandela, one of his greatest legacies was the value of education. So to have the kids involved in a year like this is exceptionally special.
But this is so awesome. It just warms my heart. It takes me back to my days, which wasn't too long ago, by the way. Just want to say. Pumlani, but how have you and your fellow learners prepared for the sleep out tonight?
It was quite a tricky thing.
Really?
Because I don't think I've had to go to the posts that I've gone to at the moment.
Yeah.
The timing was a bit shorter from the responses of and everything. So like getting sponsors for stationery and stuff like that to actually donate to the school, and going to the preparations of the food that we're going to be feeding the people and so forth. So it was kind of that steps that we had to take in order to get to that point in time to actually have a successful school sleep out.
But you've done it, man.
Wow.
You've done it, man.
The images on screen, even it's so awesome to see young people involved like this.
Janke, maybe I can put this one to you because this, yes, it's about doing something cool and capitalizing on Mandela Day, but I always find when we get involved in things like this, you start learning these deeper lessons, things that will stay with you, honestly, for the rest of your life. What has this process taught you? What big learnings have you taken away?
Our school has been part of this great movement for like 3 years now. So like each morning I wake up, the previous 3 years, I feel more grateful and like appreciative of what I have, and I think that's a very important lesson, like the main lesson maybe. But as well, like I believe my friends and I will once again feel unified this year, like underneath the African sky, you know. A lot of schools are doing it, like it's a big
initiative.
Yeah,
that's
yes.
so powerful.
And then also like feeling and spreading the love, you know. It's all about the humanity.
It's all about humanity. Leanne, what would you like the learners, and not only the learners, but our viewers watching right now, to take away from what's about to go down tonight and what's been happening over the last few years?
I think the most important thing is everyone can do something. Yeah. You don't have to be a CEO. You don't have to... Every little person in this world can do one thing for somebody else. And if school kids can come together and raise product for under-resourced schools and spend a night outdoors in the cold, gaining that empathy and doing something, so can everybody else. Yeah.
I've got a very important question. What do you wear? How many layers do you put on?
A lot.
Layers and layers and layers.
And then you put your blazer over that. But just to reinforce what you're saying there, I mean, this is a lesson that companies out there can really learn from. If our school kids, and I say kids lightly, guys, please, I know that you are young adults, but if this is what school children can do, imagine what you can do as a body, as a company, as an organization out there. The CEO Sleep Out movement is something that all of us should get behind. Make sure you head over to their page, the CEO sleepoutza.co.za, to find out all the details how you can back these incredible young people. So we're going to take the quickest of ad breaks. You can start layering up ahead of that sleep out tonight. But as always, guys, we want to hear from you. Inspire us. What are you getting up to for your 67 minutes? In fact, what are you doing for this entire centenary year to live in the service of others?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You tune into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. And what a remarkable, what a special Wednesday it is indeed, celebrating Tata Madiba's birthday, the 18th of July, his centenary at that as well. Now, Mandela Day calls on us all to make the world a better place, even if it is just for 67 minutes. Now, each year on July the 18th, we look at what can be done to celebrate Madiba's life and legacy in a sustainable way that will bring about everlasting change.
Every day should be a Mandela Day. Today, my school, my village, my planet, they are celebrating 100 years since Tata Madiba's birth. And the theme for today is #Action Against Poverty.
This year, My School volunteers are going beyond the swipe of their card and volunteering their time to help 67 young people to get work ready for the job market.
Roberta, Better SA is known for facilitating volunteer events, and this year you've partnered again with My School for Mandela Day. What's happening here today?
It's so exciting. Today we have got a whole bunch of volunteers and crew here to get 67 youths work ready. So we have the CV typing station where our volunteers will encourage the youth to express what their strengths are and exactly what their personal statement is, as well as capture other important information. At the interview coaching tables, we are coaching them on things like how to make the best first impression, the best ways to prepare for an interview, and then at the work-ready wardrobe, we will be equipping the men with a suit jacket, a shirt, and smart pants, and the women with either a smart dress or a smart three-piece outfit. So basically giving them 3 vital tools to go into an interview confident and to hopefully get the job.
Through the My School fundraising program, you can help raise funds for what matters most to you and get involved in volunteer events which connects customers with their communities.
Helene, having a professional CV is so important in finding employment, and today you guys are helping the youth with that, which is absolutely phenomenal. Why has My School decided to host this volunteer event for the Nelson Mandela Day 2018 campaign?
We felt really inspired by the fact that this year's Mandela Day theme is action against poverty. And we know that education probably is the first key to unlocking a future without poverty. And after that, you want to get gainful employment. There's so many young people out there in South Africa that really have amazing skills. They've got the attitude, they want to work. And it's our job to help them to land that job.
So who's getting involved today and who are they helping?
We're working with Better SA, our NGO partner, who's helping us to manage the volunteer event. Clothing Bank has given us a lot of the professional clothing that the young people will be receiving. Obviously, we've got our customers here today. They're volunteering, giving their time and effort. And then the young people are coming from various My School organizations like Refillware Youth, yes, the Youth Employment Service, Ikamva. So it's wonderful to see a community come together today for this event.
As a young person, I actually feel that I never got the opportunity to get career guidance, to be guided in terms of what jobs to get out there. So giving this opportunity to these young people here to actually get equipped and to actually go to jobs that are in line with their values, that's very important. So contributing to that is what I believe in.
It feels like I'm adding another block to Mandela's legacy. I'm part of something greater, and I never had this experience where somebody coached me on how to answer questions, how to set up a CV, and giving them that, it's going to make it easier for them to get into the job market.
Individuals have to have a greater competitive advantage to be able to get jobs. So they need to know how to dress appropriately for interviews. They need to know how to carry themselves so that they can have higher chances of getting jobs.
I think the whole concept of My School card is just upliftment, and it's nice to be involved in that and a part of that, to empower people and to uplift people.
67 driven young men and women got top advice, walked out with good CVs, looking professional and feeling confident.
Today has taught me how to prepare myself into the corporate world. I've learned how to type a CV. They've taught me how to prepare myself to an interview and not to be nervous anymore.
First thing I've learned that in life you have to prepare yourself before going to an interview. Like, be yourself, don't act to be someone else. The first impression lasts forever.
When I finish or complete my studies, I want to become a political analyst, a diplomat, or a political journalist.
If you're not involved with MySchool yet, you really should, because it's so simple and it really makes a massive impact. All you do is get your MySchool card or download the app, choose a cause that you really care about, that you want to support, and then every time you shop, swipe your card and you can know that money is going straight to the cause that's really important to you.
Over the last 20 years, MySchool, My Village, My Planet cardholders have helped to raise 500 million rand for causes that matter most to them, and going beyond the swipe of their card to volunteer and connect with their communities.
What a special day indeed. What a special initiative at that as well. Now, if you don't have a MySchool card just yet, we want to strongly encourage you to get involved and be part of giving back. So what you need to do, simply download the Woolworths app, sign up for your free virtual card, and then you can support up to 3 schools or charities that matters to you most. Get involved and be part of Mandela Day. Make every day a Mandela Day.
In the national news this morning, former American President Barack Obama delivered the annual Nelson Mandela Lecture at a packed Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg yesterday afternoon. Other speakers included Mandela's widow, Graça Machel, and President Cyril Ramaphosa. South Africans feel their country is more dangerous than occupied Palestine and war-torn Libya, and is the 6th most dangerous nation in the world. Venezuelans, however, believe that their country is the most dangerous. On the international front, an open access database on education research conducted by Africa-based researchers has been launched to raise the visibility and impact of such research. The database has about 2,000 education research studies, including theses and working papers on 49 African countries. And then finally, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has told Parliament that his centre-left government would introduce a new law on sexual consent to remove ambiguities in rape cases. This follows a notorious sex attack on a woman during the famous bull running festival in Pamplona in 2016. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
Let's kick it off with football news locally. First, Ajax Cape Town CEO Ari F. Stathiel has confirmed that the club plans to halt the start of the new PSL season due to the ongoing Tendai Ndoro saga. Staying with local football, at least continental football, Mamelodi Sundowns are still in search of their first win in the CAF Champions League group stage this season as they lost out to Togo Port by a 1-0 yesterday. In cricket, New Cricket South Africa CEO Thabang Marue has confirmed that he is committed to making sure that the much talked about global T20 League will take place this year. And in cycling, Frenchman Julien Alaphilippe has earned his maiden Tour de France stage victory that came yesterday, crossing line first for stage 10. Daryl Impey finishing as the highest placed South African in the mix at 72nd. More on all of those stories at 8 o'clock.
Well, let's take another look at the roads in Gauteng in Boksburg. It is slow moving on the N12 westbound, that's between Snake Road and Rondebolt. And in the Western Cape in Bellville, there's been an accident. It's on the N1 inbound after Durban Road, currently blocking the left lane. I'll have a final update for you at 8 o'clock.
Quality fuel, convenience and service with a smile. Whether it's to fuel up or stock up, Caltex, it's how you get there.
Just after 7:30, let's quickly get another update in terms of your weather and your temperatures. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect rather chilly conditions going into your Wednesday, but it's shaping up to be a beautiful day all across the country with mild maximums expected. No rain for your Wednesday though. Polokwane 1 minimum with a maximum of 16 degrees. Mbombela 7:19. Pretoria 3 and a high of 17. Johannesburg 1:15. Mahikeng 2 and a high of 17 degrees. Klerksdorp -1 and a high of 17. Kimberley 1:18. Bloemfontein -3 and a high of 16. Richards Bay 11 minimum with a maximum 21. Pietermaritzburg 4 and a high of 20. Durban 13:21. Mthatha 2:21. East London 12 and a high of 24 degrees. Cradock 2 minimum with a maximum 20. Port Elizabeth 12:24. George 16:26. Sutherland 5 minimum reaching a maximum 14 degrees. Nice and cool. Cape Town 14:24. Worcester 8:22. Springbok 12:23. And Uppington starting off on 7, warming up to a maximum of 20. The wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 7:30 bulletin. I'll bring you a final weather update just after 8.
Oh man, it's amazing to think that it's been 100 years since the birth of Tata Madiba, and this week sees countless organizations and people throughout the country, ourselves included, working towards honoring Nelson Mandela's legacy.
That's right. And you know what? Woolworths, they've launched 3 cause-related tributes, giving us all the opportunity to join the movement and take action against poverty.
Yeah, it's not about special sales, it's about special actions this morning. And one of those products that we are loving here on set is our Nelson Mandela Centenary T-shirt that we are all wearing today. And I'm probably going to wear for the rest of this week. Love it.
Yeah, and you can wear it for more than just past this week. And the other 2 items are the Madiba reusable bag and the Madiba bracelet. I'm currently rocking mine right now.
I love it. And I think the focus for Woolworths is Mandela Centenary. It ensures that the tributes are made here in Africa to increase job opportunities for local communities as well.
Now, before we go through these amazing tributes, let's take a look at what makes Nelson Mandela Centenary T-shirts so special.
Hashtag be the legacy. I absolutely love that. Well done, Woolies. I know they've been a partner with us for a long time, so we've gotten used to them doing some pretty cool things. But this, I absolutely love, because everybody wants an opportunity. Not everyone can go out there, start their own movement, but this is an easy way that you can get involved. And I think for me, this limited edition T-shirt is one of the coolest products that have come out of the mix completely. It's not about, as we were saying earlier, capitalizing on those sales. We all love to treat ourselves. This time it gives you an opportunity to make an investment in local economy, in local producers, and also take on something that in a fashionable sense also gets that legacy out here. So the T-shirt is going to cost you just 150 Rand, locally made. It supports the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, or the Nelson Mandela Fund rather, and you'll see that the face of Tata Madiba is made out of iconic words that really do embody him. I'm seeing fearless, visionary, love, words that we need to live by on a day like today. And you can find these obviously at selected stores or even easier online.
That's right. Well, you know what? Next up is it's made by a small local enterprise called Isikwama, and it is the reusable shopping bag. And it's great to have in your boot. You're contributing to the economy, but also it emblazons with Nelson Mandela's unforgettable quotes. It will only cost you 40 Rand at selected Woolworths stores and online. And the great thing is that proceeds will go towards the Caring for Girls initiative. It's an NGO which distributes sanitary towels to adolescent girls. So, you know what, it's a great way for you to get involved and, of course, add to a greater cause.
Yeah, and keep young girls in school where they can continue their education. And then lastly, would you model the beautiful bracelet for us?
There we go.
Really funky, and we love bracelets at this time of the year. Made by the Mandela Long Walk to Freedom Foundation, or the LWTF, in partnership with the Relate Trust. It's going to cost you just 50 Rand. You can find it again at selected stores or online. So whatever you have to donate to these causes, there's something that hopefully matches your budget. But I would recommend that you get all three so that every time you shop, you can look at these incredibly powerful words. Every time you put the T-shirt on, you can be inspired by this beautiful face and, of course, what it embodies for all of us, not just on today being Mandela Day, but throughout, I think, every day of the year. Hashtag be the legacy. Come on, join that movement.
That's true. Well, make sure you hashtag join the movement and make every single day a Mandela Day. Take action against poverty and join in celebrations of Madiba's 100th birthday. You can head on over to Woolies where you can get yours today and make sure to make a difference.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're going to talk about an expedition that kicks off today. It is the Cape Town to Kathmandu exhibition, and I want to find out more.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. We have Kingsley Holgate at the steer of that one as well. Brilliant adventurer and explorer. But then also on the Expresso menu this morning, a cottage pie with butter beans and mash and lentils. Perfect to start your Wednesday morning.
You're trying to get us hungry.
I am hungry.
What's wrong with you?
I am hungry. After the break, that's on the menu. Stick around.
Okay.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
Bonono, sa se te gui ginesi bonono sa se te gui ginesi bonono sa se te gui ginesi bonono, sa se te gui ginesi bonono, sa se te gui ginesi bonono sa se te gui ginesi bonono sa se te gui tiwiwi 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 It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us for what has been an unbelievably inspiring day. It is Mandela Day, and hopefully you are living that legacy today for your 67 minutes and beyond every day this year. Now, well-known explorers, and I use that lightly, probably the most famous explorer ever, and of course, a Land Rover ambassador, Kingsley and Ross Holgate, would embark on their next world-first humanitarian and geographic expedition later today, of course, being Mandela Day, from Noble Square at the V&A waterfront. Destination? Kathmandu, an incredibly exciting journey, and we welcome Kingsley and Ross Holgate and Lisa Mallet, the marketing director of Jaguar Land Rover South Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. Kingsley, great to have you back.
Yeah, lovely to be here this morning in Cape Town, not a place we often come to, and we're here for a really good reason. So.
I love it. Ross, thank you so much for joining us. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, you guys have probably the best jobs in the world, if you can even call it a job. Lisa, I think you must have a pretty cool job as well. But a massive year for Land Rover. Why is this year so special? Why are you going to this degree to give the brand the platform that you are?
So this year is a really special year for Land Rover because we celebrate 70 years of a truly special brand. And we're doing it this year by giving back. We're celebrating the 70 years by giving back in two ways. The one is Land Rover Hope Boxes, which is a project we've got with the Red Cross Societies. We've got collection points at all of our retailers, collecting non-perishable goods to distribute within the local communities. But then, of course, the reason that we're here today is obviously our long-standing association with the Kingsley Holgate Foundation. And today being so special, sending them off to Kathmandu.
So, Ross, maybe you can set the scene. First of all, I assume you are crazy for taking on these adventures that you do, but this has got probably underpinning it one of the coolest causes. What's the motivation and what is the achievement? All I know is Kathmandu.
No, that's a lovely sounding name, Kathmandu.
Yeah, I know.
You say it like it. So I'm getting excited at the thought of it. But you know, we're all about using adventure, the great stories of adventure, to save and improve lives. So that's the sort of main theme. Yes, it's a great adventure, it's a great story. We're going above and beyond the sort of African calling, and we're taking the message and the solidarity of the good work that we do into a completely different land of Asia, places like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, you know, places that we've never ever been to. So it's going to be very exciting. But we're going to continue with the incredible Land Rover initiatives of malaria prevention, of water purification, and right to sight, the distribution of spectacles to the poor-sighted.
Kings, I know we've connected over malaria, and I think partnering with a brand like Land Rover, of course, to do these things, you need to be able to get there. You need a vehicle that can actually handle that kind of terrain. But why is it so important for you? I always thought of you as an adventurer. I think now more as a humanitarian. Why do you use your platform on Mandela Day, any day, to be able to promote these courses like you do through your foundation and beyond?
It came from necessity. You know, we didn't wake up one morning and think, you know, malaria would be a cool thing to fight. But, you know, when one experiences these difficulties oneself, I've had malaria more than 50 times, for example. And so we started off by, just of our own accord, distributing mosquito nets to pregnant mums and to mums with kids under the age of 5 because, you know, they are the most vulnerable. But it came about because we'd suffered so much. And, you know, it's like a stab to the heart when you get to a village and a mother's dying, a child 100 kilometers from the nearest clinic, and you think that you can do something using these great, you know, energy's got there's a lot of energy around adventures. You know, you got the tires and the roof racks and the kit and the landies. But how lovely to share that energy around and do some good. So malaria work, we've done hundreds of thousands of mosquito nets to as I said, to pregnant mums and mums with kids under 5. And then there's the right to sight. You know, something we so take for granted. You walk into a pharmacy, buy a pair of specs, wow, I can, you know, see
like two grand contact lenses.
Yeah, so, you know, and it's so lovely. And that we've done close to 150,000 pairs. Wow. So, you know, the other day I was with the fellow. He had one leg in the homemade crutch. And I said, what happened? He said, tractor ran on me, can no longer farm. I started to become a cobbler fixing shoes. And then I said, well, no, I couldn't see the needle and the thread. We did a quick eye test. It was a 2.75. He called his little grandson, came running across the road with a half-finished shoe. And then he started working again. So for a really small fee, you know, you give a love. So it's all, and then a water purification. So really good stuff. And very important that we're kicking off on this expedition on Madiba Day. That's really important to all of us. You see that calabash in front of you there? That's going to be filled at the waterfront at 9:30 this morning at the Nobel Square. The scroll of peace and goodwill. You see Madiba Day there, and thousands of well-wishers that take messages of peace and goodwill across Africa. Every expedition has its own scroll. We've got them piled up. But it's all about using this great energy to do good.
Creating a legacy. And I think there is something, maybe this word keeps coming up, and Lisa, I can put this to you, authenticity. You have an amazing brand. You have an amazing product. All of this is great, but there is something far deeper, hope crossing any terrain. What is this, and I always ask from a personal perspective, because we know the brand, but what does this mean to you as someone who works for Land Rover, being able to plug into something as amazing as this?
Yeah, I mean, Hope Crosses Any Terrain is a single idea, almost an umbrella concept that covers sort of the humanitarian and conservation work that we do, you know, through Land Rover, where our vehicles enable this kind of work to happen. And it's really days like today where you know, you love what you do and you feel so proud of what you can do. And yes, our cars are beautiful, but the fact of the matter is they can also travel thousands of kilometers. Last year, the guys went to war-torn Somalia, traveled 12,000 kilometers and back in a new discovery. Many people don't think it can do that. So that's great. That's, you know, those proof points within the vehicles is great. It's great for me, obviously, from a marketing point of view, but also just the giving back. I mean, the guys are quite modest about, you know, how many lives they have saved and improved. And, you know, if you look at the numbers just over the last 4 or 5 years, they've impacted almost 1.5 million lives with the mosquito nets, life straws, and spectacles that they've distributed. And this expedition will add about another 130,000 people will be impacted and affected positively through the great work that they do. So it really does prove that hope can cross any terrain and go on these long journeys.
I've got so many things going through my mind. I might live the most boring life in the world compared to you guys, but it is inspiring. We live in a global village now, and I think it's important more now than ever before to spread the kind of message that you are as a brand, as human beings, as adventurers, as South Africans. Absolutely love this, so thank you so much, and please stay safe. 50 times, that's too many times to have malaria. Please, Kingsley, just... we absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this, and good luck, guys. All the best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Tom Cruise is back for another action-packed blockbuster adventure in the new Mission Impossible Fallout movie. When an IMF mission ends badly, the world is faced with dire consequences as Ethan Hunt takes it upon himself to fulfill his original briefing. The CIA begins to question his loyalty and his motives. And of course, he finds himself in a race against time, hunted by assassins and former allies while trying to prevent a global catastrophe.
Can I just say I'm excited to see this one, and we've got 3 IMAX cinemas worth of seats in Cape Town, Johannesburg and Durban, and that's for you and 3 friends to see a pre-screening of this blockbuster adventure. And of course, we'll throw in some popcorn and drinks too. Now, Mission Impossible Fallout, it opens at IMAX and Ster-Kinekor cinemas on the 27th of July.
But that's not all. Winners also stand a chance of winning 1 of 8 amazing home cleaning products, making those impossible cleaning missions possible with Karcher. And of course, all these amazing prizes are just an SMS away.
So simply SMS the keyword movie and your name and city to 33728, and that's to stand a chance at winning. The competition closes on Thursday, that's tomorrow, July the 19th at 5 p.m. and those T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
I had to have a laugh right now because the minute they said Tom Cruise, Chef Mo's, when she went weak in the knees, like, Tom Cruise, are you a fan? Yeah. She's like, well, where's my phone? I need to SMS right now. Chef Mo joining us in your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. Welcome, lovely to have you.
Thank you very much.
So you're going to be sharing a hashtag for the love of winter, cottage pie made with butter bean mash.
That's right.
And lentils.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
This is a vegetarian dish.
Yes.
Nice and healthy once again. Easy to make at home.
Okay,
so, yeah.
okay. And this is great because stick around, I'll tell you how you can possibly win your share, or not your share, 100,000 Rand, all right? There's a brilliant competition. I'll tell you about that in just a sec. But first, let's get to the recipe,
Yes.
Chef Mo. Using some Rhodes quality butter beans, and we have our Rhodes quality, what is this? Tomato puree.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Take it away.
Let's get started. So first, we have to cook our onions. So we have all our ingredients here. So let's get started with our onions.
Love it. And what I love about this dish, even though there's no meat in there, it's still high in protein. The lentils in there, the butter beans, good fiber as well. Perfect.
We've got some beef stock here.
Okay.
Parsley over there and oregano.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Right.
You can, of course, I'm sure, also use your not the beef stock, the veggie stock, right?
Yes.
You can do that, yeah.
To make it vegetarian.
All right.
So we're going to cook our onions quickly for about 6 to 7 minutes.
All right. And
until they brown.
While you take that 6 to 7 minutes, you can think about the new Mission Impossible movie and how much this one.
Oh my gosh.
I was asking you, Tom Cruise or Henry Cavill? Which one?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, definitely Tom Cruise, eh?
Yeah.
Big
time.
fan. Man, you should have seen the moment when she went weak in the knees. It was magic.
And I have to take my husband with.
Yeah, you have to, yeah. Is he going to sit on that end? You're going to sit on this end? Okay, is that how it works?
Yes.
I love it.
So once our onion is nice and brown, we can add our tomato puree in there.
Okay, got it. So Rhodes Quality definitely makes it very easy for you to get that in there as well. Are you going to offset it with a bit of sugar in this one or not?
No.
No.
No sugar in here. We're keeping it strictly healthy.
I like it, I like it. If you want to get your hands on this hashtag for the love of winter recipe, it's cottage pie with butter bean, mash and lentils. SMS the keyword Rhodes to 33728. We'll also put that recipe for you on our website, expressoshow.com. Cool, lentils.
Lentils, cooked lentils, we can add those in there.
All right, cool. So they've been cooked, obviously, just in some water.
Yes.
Get them nice and soft
Just to get them nice and soft. After that, we can add a bit of parsley in there.
All right. And this really looks like such an easy recipe.
Very, very easy for the whole family to enjoy. Then we season with some salt and pepper.
That's it.
Right. So now we have to let this cook a little bit for about 20 minutes.
Right, but naturally we fast forward things on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. But such a brilliant winter recipe as well. It's hearty, it's nice and warm, warmy from the inside out. The keyword is Rhodes. SMS that to 33728. Right, next step.
Once we let that cook there.
Okay.
Yes. So now we're going to start with our butter beans.
Yes.
Rhodes Quality butter beans over there with some creme fraiche.
Okay.
So what we do, we rinse and we drain these.
So you've learned something new. What is that fluid that you drain in?
Aquafaba.
Aquafaba, yes, yes. It's also very healthy. I was just looking now. You can use that liquid. Don't throw it away, but you can make things like a vegan-friendly meringue, pavlova, fudge. There's so much that you can make with that aquafaba. It's my word of the day, every day, actually.
Thanks for teaching me that.
There we go.
So now we'll take a masher and
do you want me to do that for you?
Please do.
Okay, I'll get in there. All right.
Some mussels, please.
Okay, cool. So how fine do we want this?
We still want a bit of texture, but it must look a bit like mash.
Yes.
So this is what goes on top of our mixture that's busy cooking now on the stove.
So basically, quickly run us through how do we get to the finished product?
So the finished product, once we are done with the mash, so we'll take our cooked mixture over here and we put it in our oven-proof dish. You'll see just like that.
There we go. You can see that's beautifully mixed already.
Thank you very much.
Such a pleasure.
And we line that delicious mixture in there.
Oh, look at that.
Looks amazing.
Brilliant. Now, once again, for this hashtag, for the love of winter, just SMS the keyword Rhodes to 33728 to get your hands on this recipe. And now it's just about putting that layer on top.
Yes, our beautiful mash mixture goes right on top.
And that is a cottage pie, if you've ever seen one, right there.
How beautiful is that? And then obviously you're going to pop it in the oven.
That's it. Okay, so how long is it going in the oven for? Because everything is essentially cooked.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all it needs is about 15 to 20 minutes until the mash on top browns a bit. And then you're
good to go. Brilliant, Chef Mo. Thank you very, very much.
You are welcome.
That looks delicious. Definitely going to be dinner tonight because it's quick and easy. You don't have to spend hours in front of the stove to prepare this hearty, healthy, meat-free dish, which is amazing. Hey, and the family will love it. The keyword is Rhodes. SMS that to 33728. Now, the Rhodes Quality hashtag for the love of winter competition is here. This is what I'm talking about a little bit earlier on. And you stand a chance to win one of 6 5,000 Rand weekly prizes and a chance at the 100,000 Rand grand prize. So all you have to do is share a picture and a recipe of your Rhodes Quality winter dish with that hashtag for the love of winter on the Rhodes Quality Facebook or Instagram page. Now entries are open until the 16th of August. It's just around the corner. And after that, celebrity chef Zola Nene will pick the 2 winning entries who will battle it out for the grand prize. Remember, T's and C's do apply and you can visit rhodesquality.com to find them. Chef Mo, thank you very much. Put it there. Cottage pie.
Awesome
cottage
stuff.
pie.
Enjoy.
Yes.
Rhodes Quality, for the love of winter.
Oh, that certainly looks delicious. Well, we're about to take a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And to get your Wednesday off on a perfect note, we have the South African Youth Choir. They're about to perform for us after the break.
And then we've got a very special Madiba Day inspired culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Call us.
Okay, guys, let's go for another sound check.
Guinnessy, bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui tiwi 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 bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui Guinnessy, bonono sam, sasete gui. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh, welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. That is a fun tune because millions of people celebrate their birthday every single day. So as we welcome today a very special one, the 18th of July, which also would have been Tata Madiba's centenary, we just want to take a moment and wish you a happy birthday too.
Yes, celebrating their birthdays along on the birthdays of all birthdays are Tata Madiba. Firstly, actor Vin Diesel celebrates his birthday today. Yep, there he is, the man himself, best known for his roles in The Fast and the Furious, The Chronicles of Riddick, XXX, and as well the voice of Groot, hey, and Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm Groot.
There
yes,
we go.
Happy birthday, Vin Diesel.
And also celebrating her birthday today is Priyanka Chopra. Now, she's been making a lot of headlines for dating Nick Jonas, but she's a former Miss World, and of course she plays the role of Alex Parrish in the hit show Quantico.
And apparently their relationship is getting quite serious, eh?
Yeah, they feature in our international entertainment news all the
Met
time.
the parents and everything. Okay, and then we'd also like to wish to our viewers a very happy birthday. Firstly, Gert Jacobs celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, Gert. Thank you very much for the photo. And Diane Ingram, who also celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Gert and Diane. Thank you for connecting with us.
That's right, and in case we missed your birthday, we've got Daniel Braff here as well. Happy birthday to you. And in case we missed it, we just want to wish you a happy birthday. Head on over to our social media if you've got a loved one you would love to wish, or even if it's your birthday, and we would happily wish you a happy birthday right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Happy birthday.
In the national news this morning, former US President Barack Obama delivered the annual Nelson Mandela Lecture at a packed Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg yesterday afternoon. He said Madiba's vision guided the world on the meaning of progress at the end of the 20th century. Earlier, Graça Machel reflected on her late husband's legacy, saying Madiba weaved a colourful tapestry with generations of great leaders who fought for freedom. President Cyril Ramaphosa described Madiba as a man that we are all proud of to call our founding father of our united, non-racial, non-sexist and democratic South Africa. South Africans believe that they are less safe than people in Palestine and Libya. Venezuelans, however, believe that their country is the most dangerous. Now, South Africans feel their country is more dangerous than occupied Palestine and war-torn Libya and is the 6th most dangerous nation in the world, a new study has found. The 2018 Gallup Law and Order report released yesterday found that only people in Gabon, South Sudan and Afghanistan believe that their nations were more dangerous than South Africans. Venezuelans, on the other hand, believe that their country was the most dangerous. The study was based on interviews with some 148,000 people in 142 countries. Now, moving further abroad, Africa's first online database on education research is to raise the visibility and impact of research in Africa. An open access database on education research conducted by Africa-based researchers has been launched to raise the visibility and impact of such research. The database, which has about 2,000 education research studies, including theses and working papers on 49 African countries, resulted from the collaboration between the Research for Equitable Access and Learning Centre at the UK-based University of Cambridge and the Education Sub-Saharan Africa, which is a charity with a mission to transform educational outcomes on the continent. And then finally, Spain's Pedro Sanchez promises new law on sexual consent results of an incident during the famous Pamplona bull running festival. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has told Parliament that his centre-left government would introduce a new law on sexual consent to remove ambiguities in rape cases. Announcing the measure yesterday, he said that sex without explicit consent would be considered rape. It follows a notorious sex attack on a woman during the famous bull running festival in Pamplona, when 5 men who called themselves the Wolf Pack were convicted of sexually assaulting the young woman in 2016 but acquitted of rape. The decision led to street protests. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport.
In football locally, Ajax Cape Town CEO Ari Eustachio has confirmed that the club plans to halt the start of the new PSL season due to the ongoing Tendai Ndoro saga. At the end of last season, Ajax were immediately relegated after they were docked points for fielding the ineligible Ndoro. However, the relegation was thrown into doubt after Judge Denise Fisher ruled in favour of Ajax last month. Despite Ajax's plans, the PSL is still set to begin on the 4th of August. Staying with football on a continental level, Mamelodi Sundowns are still in search of their first win in the CAF Champions League group stage this season as they lost out to Togo Port by a goal to nil yesterday. Togo Port sealing the win thanks to a 39th minute goal from Ai Hunlede. So that result leaves Sundowns in last place in Group C, 3 points adrift of leaders Wydad Casablanca. Up next, Downs will again face off with Togo Port in a must-win reverse fixture, and that comes next Friday. Then on to cricket. New Cricket South Africa CEO Thabang Marue has confirmed that he is committed to making sure that the much talked about global T20 League takes place this year. With the teams and players confirmed, the first ever edition of the Global League was set to take place last year, but the tournament was scrapped at the last minute, reportedly due to a lack of a main sponsor. The tournament looks set now to be launched at the end of 2018. And then finally, in cycling, Frenchman Julian Alaphilippe has earned his maiden Tour de France stage victory yesterday, crossing the line first in stage 10. The Quick Stack team rider has made his move with under 30 kilometers to go and held on to the advantage as he won the 158-kilometer stage in 4 hours, 25 minutes and 27 seconds. Daryl Impey finished as the highest placed South African in the mix in 72nd place, just 18 minutes behind the stage winner. And that's a wrap of your sport for this Wednesday morning.
Well, let's take another look at the roads in Gauteng and Boysens. Traffic is slow moving on Boysens Road between Nasrec Road and Crownwood Road. And in the Western Cape and Khayelitsha, there's an accident, and this is on the N2 outbound. It's at De Beers Avenue, currently blocking the emergency lane, so allow for some extra travel time. And that's a wrap of your roads for this morning.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
It's such a beautiful morning down in the mother city. I mean, just look at that sunrise. Absolutely fitting for a very, very special day, the 18th of July, celebrating Tata Madiba's 100th birthday. Let's get into your weather. It's just after 8 o'clock, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day across the country. Chilly temperatures for most parts of the country, but reaching mild maximums a little bit later on. Polokwane this morning, 1 and a maximum of 16. Mbombela, 7 and a high of 19. Pretoria, 3, 17. Johannesburg, 1, 15. Mahikeng, 2 and a high of 17. Klerksdorp, -1. -1 and a high of 17 degrees. Kimberley 118, Bloemfontein on -3, reaching a high of 16 degrees. Richards Bay 1121, Pietermaritzburg 4 and a high of 20. Durban 1321, Mthatha 2 and a high of 21 as well. East London 1224, Cradock 2 and a high of 20. Port Elizabeth starting off on 12 minimum this morning with a maximum of a mile 24. George 1626, Sutherland 514, Cape Town 14 and a high of 24. Worcester 822, Springbok 1223, and Uppington on 7 minimum, reaching a high of 20. And that's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for your Wednesday morning.
So we continue now here in our studio, our celebration of youthful choristers. So we are joined by the very well-known South African Youth Choir, who will be performing tonight at the historic St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town as part of Ihlombe. And that's the South African Choral Festival. And they are, of course, represented very proudly by Phil Robinson, their choir master. Phil, you've got like the most underperforming group of youngsters, I think, ever. Just to set the scene, that was a joke. Set the scene, just take us through some of the achievements of this incredible group of young singers, if you will.
This is the South African Youth Choir. They consist of youth members between the ages 13 to 25 years from all over South Africa. They represent all the culture groups in South Africa. For the past 4 years in a row, they've been crowned Best Youth Choir in South Africa at the international choral competition Animato. And last year, they were also crowned overall winners.
Wow.
Yes.
There's a cultural exchange going on here. We know we're welcoming the singing sensations choirs from the US. You spent a lot of time traveling and spreading the love as well. You've been to the US recently?
Yes. In October last year, we had a very successful tour to the US. In fact, we were honored by 2 cities, the city of Las Vegas and city of Minneapolis, who proclaimed a day South African Youth Choir Day. They also received an award from Disney for their contribution to the arts. So, yes, we're excited.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, guys. Come on, okay? Yes, to be able to celebrate on a day like today, to have youth taking centre stage for Ihlombe, and I think just any kind of initiative at the moment, why is it so important for you on a personal level to invest your time, and what kind of reward do you get working with young people, especially this talented?
It is actually an amazing award to work with them, to see how they develop into leaders. So it is actually an incredible privilege to work with him.
I hope you guys feel the same way.
They do.
It really is an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. I know the accolades speak for themselves, but we're going to let them literally speak for themselves with a beautiful performance. What are they going to perform?
Now they're going to do Ginesi Ponono for you. One of the works.
The stage is yours, guys. It's the South African Youth Choir.
Thank you.
Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Tiwiwi, 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 Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui, Ginesi Ponono Sam, Sasetengui.
Yeah! A Again, the choreography steals the show for me, guys. That was absolutely amazing. Enjoy, break a leg tonight. Enjoy the performance. That was the South African Youth Choir. Hopefully that set the tone for a beautiful and, I think, a very authentic Madiba day today. And of course, we're going to take the quickest of breaks. I'm going to bid you a fond farewell so I can go start my 67 minutes, but you've got an hour of the show to savor. It's the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. Where's the ting, 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 guys? Come on. Y'all know what to do. Phone in 021-430-9881. Give us those cooking conundrums. Thank you, guys. Again, take a bow. Take a bow.
Make sure you tune in for a Mandela Day special on Afternoon Express live at 4:30 on SABC3. Recently, along with some sponsors, we helped Pete Home, a shelter for abused and neglected children, renovate their premises, and today we catch up with them to see the impact it's had on the work they do. And in the kitchen, we make one of Madiba's favorite dishes, a slow-cooked oxtail stew. That's Afternoon Express, weekdays at 4:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling. Yes, it's a Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for your Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, Mandela Day is here. It has arrived. And we have a very special Culinary Hotline edition lined up for you this morning. We're going to be chatting about Tata Madiba's favorite foods and hope that we can inspire you to try one of them or maybe two of them for dinner this week. We have our leading ladies, Anel Potgieter and Chef Jenny Morris, on our foodie panel this morning, who is standing by to answer all of your burning foodie questions. So if you have any culinary questions or conundrums, please feel free to call us live on 021-430-9881. Our lines are open. Ladies, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So good to have you. Look at this. Look at she's popping
Doesn't she look
colour.
fabulous with this popping colour?
This is the new Jenny Morris chef jacket range.
Lovely. We love it. We love it. Yes, we do.
It's beautiful.
Listen, it's Mandela Day. We've been gearing up towards the day for the longest time. What does this day mean to you? And what are you guys going to be doing for your 67 minutes?
Well, you know, for me, it just brings it all back to what that man did for this country.
Yes.
Madiba, Mama loves you. So what I'm doing is at the Cape Quarter, in Greenpoint, we are making soup, we're making bread, and we're making Sasco muffins.
Okay.
We want you to come and buy those muffins. They're only 20 rand each.
Nice.
And all of that money and everything, all the soup, everything that we've made will go to Food Forward, to the Haven, which does so much for the people on the street, and to the Carpenters Workshop.
Fantastic. I like that. Go out and support Jenny Morris at the Cape
Yes,
Quarter.
I've tasted those yesterday, so please go and buy them. I'm going to do something less extravagant than Jen. She's always so creative. And
yeah.
I'm going to visit the Frail Care Centre, and I'm just going to read to the older ladies that never get visits from their family or friends. So that's what I'm going to do, is spend an hour there and read to them and just chat to them.
I love that. That's
I just actually want somebody to come and hug them and say hello to them, because the children have forgotten them there.
And see, this is for me the most important thing. Yes, we are celebrating his birthday and we're all going out of our way to do 67 minutes of good and uplifting those around you, but it should be something we do on a daily basis. You know, something we should do often, living his legacy, not to celebrate it on one particular day. Right, like I mentioned, yes.
Like those children.
There we go. Listen, I said we have a very special culinary hotline this morning. Now, Kaliswa Ndoye was Tata Madiba's personal chef, and she was the first one to release a cookbook on his favorite dishes. So we're going to be talking about some of those. those. What are some of those dishes that he absolutely loved, that just stands out for you guys?
You know, he loved amasi. That was a big thing. He wrote to Winnie Mandela when he was in prison. He wrote to her, how I long for amasi, thick and sour.
Yes.
And he grew up with amasi in his mom's house. You know, so and if you look at Mandela, look at his food, you actually look at South Africa's history through a kitchen window.
Wow.
Because he grew up as a child eating amasi and millies. Then when he was a lawyer, he was introduced to Indian food, you know, through his friends. Then he went to prison and had that horrible food. Then after he became president, it was his presidential feasts.
Yes.
And then he also fell in love with prawns and stuff after he married Gracia Marcel.
But you know the thing, he was a humble man. So he loved his oxtail, he loved his sampan beans, he loves his impokok, which I love, and amasi I love with brown bread.
Amasi and brown bread, sorry.
Oh my God, it's too delicious. Big
Really?
chunks of brown bread, put amasi, salt, I put chili and coriander with it as well. It is so delicious.
Jazz it up a little bit.
Always you'll find amasi in my fridge, I'm not joking.
Now, according to Koliswa, he also had a couple of interesting dishes, weird combinations, like spinach and peanut butter soup.
That's not so weird.
Is it not weird? Because I love both of them, but kind of separate, you know, but combining them?
Very West African.
Okay.
The peanut butter.
Yeah.
So how does this work? What does this dish kind of look like?
Like a soup.
Okay.
Yeah, so what they normally, it's a normal type of vegetable soup. So you use onions that you braise first and some butter or oil. You use your potatoes, carrots and spinach, you know, the basis of it. And then eventually, and I've never tasted this before, to be quite honest myself, they add a bit of peanut butter and for sure stock. At the end, they add a teaspoon or two of peanut butter to give it some flavour. And he also fondly wrote about that as well. It was one of his dishes. Yeah,
My
it's
word.
very West African.
Those two flavour profiles, does it work together between the peanut butter and the spinach?
If you think about peanut butter, you go to the east and then you get those spinach rolls with they serve with a peanut butter sauce, the satay. Remember,
I do.
It's an Asian dish where you put your stuff inside, your little filling.
But also the peanut butter thing comes from Mali as well. So
it's African, very African.
Yeah.
Interesting. Listen, our lines are open, 021430, if you want to ask our two leading ladies any questions, maybe helping you out in the kitchen. Now, you mentioned it a little bit earlier on, one of Tata Madiba's favourite traditional dishes was umpokotko. What exactly is that? And how would we put that together if we want to make it for dinner?
Yeah. Dit is krummelpap, like maize meal, but in a crumbly form with amasi.
It's almost like a big couscous.
Yeah.
Yes.
And interesting, can I tell another tale? I love his tale. He was actually, Madiba was in one of his overseas visits and he was at the Dorchester Hotel, 5-star hotel in London.
Wow, okay.
And he was so tired of hotel food that he actually asked one of his colleagues that was flying from South Africa to London to meet up with him to bring him the dish.
Love it.
The krummelpap in amasi, to bring it to him in London. And that's how much he loved it.
Well, if you're living in London, you make your own amasi. Just put it outside and let it ferment.
Yeah.
So are you going to quickly just show us?
So krummelpap is just water, but I usually make it 1 part water and about 2 to 3 parts of
it's dry.
Yeah.
It's a dry mix.
And then you just add it and I let it boil.
Okay.
Yeah, put the lid on.
Put the lid on. And then krummel jy dit, dan maak jy vir jou krummelpap.
I would say that after, like every 2 to 3 minutes, once it's in the thing, and then you just take that fork and you...
And just
zhuzh
it up a little bit. Just like, look at that, crumbs forming already. Listen, if you want to give us a call, it's the Culinary hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. Right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. 0214309881. We're going to be back with our leading ladies in just a sec. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you so much, Stratum. Now, we all know that Tata Madiba represents something of virtue to all South Africans. And this year in particular, we've all been encouraged to hashtag be the legacy and, of course, do the most to change our communities.
That's right. And while we've had some of our favorite Expresso friends on the show, we've asked them, what does Tata Madiba's legacy mean to them?
You know, 100 years of Mandela's legacy should be something that every country actually lives by. The man has brought us to peace. The whole nation lives in peace. We live together, we share, we give. And I think that's a legacy that the whole world should share in.
100 years of Mandela's legacy. I'm proud to have lived during this 100 years. I think that it's a moment for us as South Africans to celebrate him and his family and the sacrifices that he's made for our country.
100 years of Mandela's legacy means to me is the fact that now we have a rainbow nation, that our country has full equality and there's a whole bunch of freedom.
And everyone's living in peace and harmony together.
Mandela Day means to me that the entire international world looks down at South Africa and celebrates with us what Mandela did for us. He brought about democracy, he brought about a rainbow nation, which we now are revisiting and re-looking again, a necessity which Mandela would have endorsed.
When I think of Nelson Mandela, I think of reconciliation, I think of the power of forgiveness and how something so small can make such a big impact.
I think this is a special one because it's, you know, it would have been his 100th birthday, changing the ways of apartheid, you know, challenging white privilege.
You know, Mandela Day means everything to me. It is, I think it's one day in the year where everybody comes together for 67 minutes and they put all their differences aside. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, and it's just to give back.
The quality of Mandela that I lived through the most are actually 6 of them. His integrity, his passion for serving people, his respect for differences and inclusivity of people, his absolute honouring of justice, of transparency, of making sure that everyone in our country is seen as an equal.
Oh, I love that. How full are our hearts right now? Well, McCafe spreads the love every morning with us here in studio and, of course, our guests by serving us fresh, delicious coffee. And it's time to spread the love with you, too. Now, 3 winners stand the chance of winning 8 limited edition glass McCafe coffee mugs. Not only are they super stylish and modern, but the double wall glass protects your hands from the heat and helps you keep your drink warmer for longer.
And they are also the perfect gift for coffee and tea lovers. And to win, we want you to send us a selfie with your favorite McCafe drink or treat and post it on the Expresso Facebook page. It really is that easy. And we're going to be picking 3 winners, so make sure you take a chance and you enter. And remember that those T's and C's do apply. They can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com.
So we're going to be taking a quick break. Look at me, I'm hanging out with my 2 favorite leading ladies, Chef Jenny Morris and Anel Putri. They're here for the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. Call us 0214309881. We're going to be back with another very special edition of the Culinary Hotline. And then we're also going to be making one of Tata Madiba's favorite dessert recipes, a nachi Malva pudding. Just like the one we see right here. It looks mouth-watering. If you want to make this, stick around.
Join the party on Top Billing this Saturday evening at 6 to see if Presenter Search on 3's top 8 finalists can handle the heat as they take over the show for one night only. We put this talented new generation to the test. Don't miss the Top Billing Takeover, Saturday at 6, repeat Sunday midday on SABC 3.
Where the stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling.
Welcome back. You've tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso right here on SABC 3. Yet again, time for the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. Yes, Man, they're leaving us hanging this morning, ladies. It's shameful because it's a very special one as we take a moment just to reflect on some of Tata Madiba's favorite recipes and meals, and maybe inspire you to make some of them as well. If you have any questions, call us 0214309881. Chef Jenny Morris and Anel Potgieter standing by to answer all of your burning questions. Okay, cool. So we made this umpakotko a little bit earlier on. So just to finish it off quickly. So it's krummelpap, yes. And then what do you do with it?
You do this.
Amasi.
You do it long and slow. Oh, my.
And this is what Tata Madiba wanted when he was there in London.
Yes.
And he had, oh man, the memories. Right. So let's move on to something else. I think I'm a big favorite as well. Oxtail stew, or umsila wenkomo, as he called it.
Yes.
How do you make oxtail stew proper? Because, I mean, we can't, you know, he needed it to be perfect. All right.
Well, you know, for me, and I know for you, you'll say the same thing, long and slow.
Absolutely. Absolutely, long and slow. At least, and then put the flavorings in the stew. So you got your pot, put some beautiful tomatoes, some red wine, onions, stock, garlic, rosemary, hardy herbs. And then you put it in the oven covered met 'n deksel or with foil for about 5 hours. I will put it in slow,
seriously
about
slow.
150, round about there, for about 5 hours.
You know what? I'd use a slow cooker. If you've got
I was about to ask, what about the slow cooker? Because it'll definitely cut down your cooking time.
And the pressure cooker. It's the other thing, is the pressure cooker. It's the other one that will work wonderful.
And do you know what I love about the oxtail is you can have the meat. I like the bone. You know, it's got all those little things. You bite it and you go... suck up all that gorgeous marrow on the inside.
I normally cut the marrow out on a piece of toast as well. You know, that's something I enjoy. But it's interesting, the recipe that Madiba liked, and all the chefs so hare gaan regop staan, has soppoeier in, soup powder.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it.
Ja, and it's also got soppoeier. Wat is die ander ding wat hy in het, man? Ek gaan dit nou onthou, dat ek skoon vergeet. Genade, soppoeier is 'n belangrike een.
Brown onion powder.
Yeah, brown onion powder that they put inside.
But making it, pressure cooker is all great and it's great, but this in a potjie, you take the entire day, you sit down, you chill out with family, with friends, and you just enjoy it. That is the way you make a real oxtail potjie, right?
Putu.
With putu pap,
Yes, maar stywe in.
Let's get into something sweet quickly. One of Tata Madiba's favorite desserts is that Nachi-inspired Malva pudding. Now, interesting, he used to tell his kids, you know, that fruits, that's what you should eat. You don't know, no sweets and nothing fruits, but he loved indulging in all kinds of sweet things as well. And that particularly, that Malva pudding was one of his favorites.
Do as I say and don't do as I do.
Yes.
That's what we tell our kids.
Yeah, so what's the story behind that?
No, he just loved Malva pudding. And then he also loved stuff like rum and raisin ice cream. That was another...
trifle.
And trifle is another thing that he loved. And you know, on Robben Island, they had a Christmas pudding, they called it. But it was actually a bread pudding, layers of bread with raisins and coconut powder and cocoa powder that they actually put inside, and then they baked it. And that was their Christmas pudding. Yeah, and he loved that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had an interesting story, but you stole a lemon
out of his
from
garden.
Tata Madiba's actual lemon tree.
Jenny Morris.
I did. And botanists will know how quickly the common rough-skinned lemon, you dry those things and they germinate very quickly. And I have a tree in my garden, but I started with the Department of Tourism. You were there. You said I could have one.
But that is great. I mean, just something, it's a little bit of a legacy in your own garden as well, which I love. I've also been there. It's a beautiful tree.
It is beautiful.
And he cared for that tree while he was there as well. Listen, Mandela Day is all about honouring the legacy of Tata Madiba, the values that he portrayed as well. So just to end off with, how can we go about and just live his legacy, specifically through food?
I think what I would say people today, take your lunch that you take today, put it in your front seat as you drive to your work now, and give it today, give it away to a person that doesn't have food. Just do a simple thing like that.
Absolutely.
Simple thing.
And if it's one of Tata Madiba's favourite recipes, you know, even better.
Yeah. Put it in something that keeps it warm.
Yes.
But I do agree with you. that we do not share, we do not give enough.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And we have so much.
And like I've mentioned earlier on, yes, it's a great opportunity to go out there and do something good, but keep this kind of thought, this kind of spirit in mind every day.
Yes.
What about to do small things like be kind, greet with you know, politeness and smile to people around you. I think that is the real energy that needs to come through of his
just
legacy.
forget about yourself, because we're just self-oriented to social media. There's the selfies, I put myself on Facebook, said this, and you actually forget about other people. So just put the other people in front
before
of yourself.
you.
That's
Put people before you. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, ladies, for a very special edition of the Culinary Hotline. Go out and enjoy the day. Enjoy your time baking those muffins at the Cape Quarter. Check her out. For a very worthy cause as well. That's it for your Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting.
Now make every Wednesday your wash day. Have you any idea of the fascinating processes you start when you tip some of that simple looking powder, better known as washing powder, into your machine or wash tub?
Well, detergents contain over a dozen ingredients, so let's take a look at some of the main ingredients in your washing powder.
Mac Auto and hand wash detergents have a combination of actives and enzymes designed to deliver great results. Mac Auto has been formulated for top performance in washing machines, while the high foaming nature in hand wash products proves that it's working.
Mac detergents are made up of many ingredients, but it's mainly a combination of actives and enzymes. But how exactly does a detergent work? Lisa, what is the active ingredient in hand washing powder and auto washing powder?
Well, most people, I think, don't realize what clever chemistry there is going on inside their washing powder that you probably didn't realize. There are many different ingredients in here that are very cleverly put together, which all perform different functions. But the main one is the chemical detergent, which does the main cleaning job. This is what gives the product its foam. The higher the active level in the product, the better the cleaning power it has. And the active detergent really works on oily stains, and it does this by breaking up the oily stain into lots of different small particles to make them easier to wash away.
And that's then combined with enzymes?
Yes, that's right. So enzymes are highly active chemical compounds that are added in very low levels into the washing powder, which actually assist the detergent in stain removal. What they do is they boost the performance of the stain removers so that they can work at lower wash temperatures. You get different types of enzymes, they're very specific, and so you generally need a cocktail of enzymes to give you the best possible stain removal.
Once dirt and stains have been removed and broken up, the builders in Mac detergents ensures to hold it in the water and prevents it from going back onto the fabric.
All detergents produce a foam, but what is the difference in foam with these two washing powders?
Well, front-loading washing machines can tend to get choked up with foam if your washing powder produces too many suds. That's because of the confined space inside the drum. So auto products like Mac Auto are generally formulated to contain a foam suppressant to keep the foam under control. In contrast, hand washing products like Mac hand washing powder, here the foam's actually important because that's what shows you that the product's actually working. And the hand wash product like Mac can also be used in a top loader.
And how important is dosage?
So the size of the load, how dirty the washing is, the wash time and the temperature all play a role in getting the clothes clean. And the dosage of the product has been scientifically calculated based on these parameters. How heavy the load is, how badly soiled it is, and the wash time, etc. has all been very scientifically calculated. So that's why it's important to follow the dosage instructions on the pack.
Mac makes your wash day a little easier by working really hard on tough stains so you don't have to, making it easier for you to shine.
Well, Mac certainly makes your wash days a little easier, and we're making it easy for you to win a Mac hamper every single week.
So to stand a chance of winning, SMS the keyword MAC to 33728. SMSs are charged at R1.50. No free SMSs apply, and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Now, this week's giveaway ends at midnight this Friday.
Mac washing powder works really hard on tough stains, so you don't have to. Making it easy for you to shine.
Well, sticking to wash days, through Every Drop Counts campaign, DeFi, South Africa's leading appliance brand, they are driving awareness that each and every one of us, that's businesses and households alike, need to take every measure possible to conserve our limited resources, and working together for a brighter future has never been so important.
That's right. DeFi understands this, and of course, beyond incorporating the latest energy and water-saving technology into their appliances, they recognize the need to educate, share and reward South Africans for their water warrior efforts by posting water-wise tips on what is effectively an online ideas box. You could put yourself in line to win a fantastic DeFi washing machine.
Now simply visit and like the DeFi South Africa Facebook page, share your water-wise tips on the Expresso DeFi competition post, and you stand a chance of winning this 7-kilogram front-loader washing machine worth 5,000 Rand, and it has an automatic water control system that not only uses the water you need for your washing load, but it also reduces water wastage.
So here's a quick tip for getting those cogs turning. Always fill your dishwasher to the maximum capacity before switching it on. Washing by hand may be quick and easy for a few dishes, but it won't always save water when compared to a fully loaded dishwasher. In fact, it could be virtually impossible to wash up to 130 items using 11 liters of water. Now, this is what a water-saving dishwasher is able to achieve.
That's unbelievable. Now, don't forget to visit and like the DeFi Facebook page and share your water-saving tips, and this DeFi washing machine could be yours. The competition will close the 31st of July. That's at 5 p.m. and those T's and C's do apply.
Right, let's quickly take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. It's a very special Wednesday at that as well. When we come back, being a Tata Madiba's birthday, he's celebrating 100 years. It's his centenary. We're going to be making one of his favorite desserts. It's a nachi Malva pudding. It looks delicious. The kitchen is all kind of delicious sweet smells this morning. Stick around for that, and I'll show you how I dip a Oma in a very unique and inventive way after the break.
This Thursday evening, catch the presenter search on 3 Top Billing Takeover. Contestants are given a taste of the good life with their very own segment on this flagship lifestyle magazine show, as they showcase fine dining, celebrity interviews, and cutting-edge design. Who will own the spotlight and show you they have what it takes? Find out on Presenter Search on 3, Thursday at 7:30 on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Clover Marcy is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Well, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Time for us to spend some time in the kitchen. And today marks the day that Nelson Mandela would have turned 100 years old. While people will be remembering his legacy all across the globe, we thought we would be celebrating it with a dish inspired by some of Madiba's personal favorite foods. And while traditional home-cooked food was Madiba's favorite, he was also known to have a sweet tooth. And according to his once personal chef, Xoliswa Ndoyiwa, one of his favorite desserts was a citrus sponge. Now, we've taken inspiration from Tata himself and adapted a South African classic, and this is with the Clover Amasi Nachi Malva pudding for Mandela Day that we'll be whipping up today.
Yes, and you can't get more traditional than a Malva pudding.
I know.
Oh, I'm such a big fan. I'm such a big fan, and I can eat literally buckets of it at a time. I have to slow myself down. But yeah, let's put it together. It's going to be very, very easy. So we've got some sugar and some butter, and then we have some apricot jam.
Okay.
All right. So just about 2 teaspoons of that goes in there. Helps your mixing.
There we
All right.
go.
And then I have some bicarb that goes into a little dash of milk. All right.
Okay.
Just for the rising effect, and some vinegar as well. So what I'm going to do?
Can I help you? Can I
I'm going to start
soften that up for you?
Let's cool. Do you want to try? You want to go for it?
Okay.
Go for it.
I'll do that.
That's
there
it. So
we
we used our rose quality apricot jam there because it's really smooth and nice and sweet as well. Going to give you that lekker apricot flavor, what you want. So I'm going to pop in this milk and bicarb. That's going to go in there as well. Careful now, Zoe.
Oopsie,
Careful
I'll
now.
go gentle. I feel like you were throwing that in quite messy.
I just threw it in there. Come on, don't blame me.
There
Some
we go.
vinegar, all right. And then I have 2 eggs. So this is basically going to make the Malva pudding sponge. It's actually very, very easy. And then I'm just going to come around. We have our amasi, beautiful clover amasi, full cream, and we need 2 of these. Man, I'm running around like crazy.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. And this is once again going to add nice moisture to our sponge. Bam, 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 bam. There we have it. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. That's Clover to 33728 if you want to get your hands on the recipe. Very, very easy. And there
Naturally, this is not going to have a smooth consistency, or that's the goal.
Look, you're going to keep mixing it now. You can use a like a electric hand mixer as well, which is also great.
Why don't we use one?
You got to get in there, Zoe. Get in there. Keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728, and that is really as easy as it is to make that sponge. You'll also find it's going to go into the oven. Things are going to melt. It's going to come together nicely. So what we have here, we have just a spring tin, and we're going to pop all of that in there. Just 1 second. Yeah, Zoe, good job. Good job.
Okay. I feel like
Feels like you're doubting
something. Are we missing something?
No, that's everything. That's everything. Remember the amasi, that's what you're seeing as well. So that will all come together and dissolve very nicely.
Okay, I feel like we're being whispered some things about flour.
Hey? Oh, wait a minute. Yes. So, but why don't you say we need flour? By the way, this is the right amount. Do you want to mix this as well?
Because I was like, that's a bit watery.
How on
okay,
earth
there
did I
we
miss
go.
the flour?
Okay, this is more of a batter consistency.
You feel better now? Look, Malva pudding, not my forte, okay? I eat it. It's nice. It's delicious when it's made, okay?
There we go, our hero ingredient. There we go.
Brilliant. Okay. So now that we have that sorted, yes, then you will come out with a delicious Malva pudding. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. Also, you can log on to our website, expressoshow.com, to find the entire recipe. Also for that beautiful nachi kind of sauce that you put on over it that's going to soak up into that sponge. So check it out. Try and make this one. Tata Madiba will be very, very proud. I'm just
cake
glad.
batter consistency.
Yes.
There we go for our Malva pudding. There we go.
Oh, Ewan, that's it.
There we go.
Okay, fantastic. And now, ladies and gentlemen.
You put it in your tray.
You put it in your tray, just like that. And now, it's going to come out as a Malva pudding.
There we go.
Perfect, just like that.
Our keyword is Clover to 33728 if you would love to have the full recipe and steps to it with the ingredients sent directly to your phone. That's Clover to 33728.
That's it. Let's quickly take a look at those steps once again, including the flour.
As we celebrate 100 years of Nelson Mandela this Mandela Day, we thought we would celebrate with a dish inspired by one of his favorite desserts, a citrus sponge. We've taken inspiration from Tata himself and adapted a South African classic with this clover amasi nachi Malva pudding. Add clover butter and brown sugar to a mixing bowl. Cream until fluffy. Beat in apricot jam. Add eggs. And beat to combine. Next, dissolve bicarb in warmed clover fresh full cream milk. Then add salt and flour to the egg mixture. Stir to combine. Add the milk mixture and mix until smooth. Add your clover amasi, nachi zest and vinegar. Stir to combine. Pour into a greased tin, bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. For the sauce, add clover butter to a pan, stir in brown sugar, add nachi rind and juice, then add apricot jam. Stir in clover cream. Now comes the fun part, by pricking holes in the pudding. Pour over the sauce and allow to stand for 10 minutes. While people will be remembering his legacy all across the globe, why not celebrate with a taste of home inspired by one of Madiba's personal favorites?
Made with love by Clover.
Well, there you have it. Our
Yeah. The keyword. Zoe.
The keyword is Clover.
Yes.
233728. If you'd love to have the recipe, that's ingredients, all of the ingredients, the steps to how to make it, sent directly to your phone. It's Clover to 33728.
Just like that. Now you can make them anyway. You can make them in a big dish, just like this, or you can make them mini cupcakes. It can look nice as well.
In a muffin tin.
Here we have a citrus sauce. We didn't get to showing you how to make the citrus sauce, but it is a part of the recipe. When you SMS that keyword Clover to 33728, you would drizzle this as it comes out of the oven, nice and hot, so all over. And then this is the leftover that we have just to top it off.
Ooh.
A little bit beautiful. Bam. Just like that.
Amazing.
And you can also serve it with some beautiful clover custard as well. And then you have it. Malva pudding extraordinaire.
That's right.
Clover Marcy is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Well, it's that time of the morning, really.
Sorry.
Could you not make a smoother entry here?
I was making malva pudding.
It's that time of the morning. It's time for us to dip Oma. And of course, Ewan is the only one who has not yet shown us a dip. But it's all good because so far, Zoe's shown us the clumsy dip.
Okay.
Kat has shown us the African dip. Graham did the high dive dip. Remember when it was here, like clink? That one was a cool one. And then I did the everybody together Wakanda. Dip.
Wakanda
That's
dip.
right.
Okay, cool.
That's right. Okay, cool.
So
I
what is your
dip
this one? This is a tough one because there's so many inventive ones, and I figured the only way that I can dip a Oma properly is by being true to myself.
Okay.
You know, I like fitness, I like to exercise, and so what I'm calling mine, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It's the bicep grip and dip. Okay. So what you do...
Does your dip have a license though?
No, but you must make sure that it is on safety, right? When you are going to go into it.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to go with my left arm because this is the weaker arm. Okay. So you start with rolling up your sleeve, all right? And I hope you've warmed up for this one. And this is a total upper body dip.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you've got your coffee in one hand. I hope this is going to work because I actually never try it. Try and find the longest rusk that you possibly can. Stretch it out, all right? Move it around. Bicep grip and dip.
What?
Yes. So what you do is now you flex.
So you're getting a workout as well.
Yeah. So what you want to do now, you want to check if it's there, working the rotator cuff.
Of course.
As well. All right. And this hand, you work also a rotator cuff by lifting it up and also across, moving the chest muscle. You see. And now you dip. Bam. Bicep grip and dip.
And what if bicep, but what
if now you hold it.
But what if your muscles are hanging here like Lucian's?
This is why you do this dip to get rid of that, Leanne.
Okay, cool. So you put it in there.
Yeah.
Okay, don't look at mine here.
Like no. Okay. Twist down.
Twist.
No, but you have to at the tip because you have to squeeze. Yes, get it in there.
You're squeezing the tip. Okay.
That's it. And now what you do is perfect. Once you have dipped it, you take this arm, reach across, tense the chest, all right? And then you take it, and then look.
I think you're just showing off. That's what I feel. But anyways, we love it. What's the name?
The bicep grip and dip. I'm actually working up a sweat with this one, guys. It's amazing because you can get a workout and enjoy your rusk at the same time. Look.
He is working up a sweat. Okay, the bicep grip and dip. Lovely stuff. Don't forget. What is your favorite, by the way? What's your favorite flavor?
The buttermilk and the condensed milk.
Okay, I'm a muesli girl, but we know this. So don't forget to enter our competition to win the Oma Rusk hamper. Now, it includes a box of every single flavor of Oma Rusks. You need a cloth there for your head. Plus a selection of winter warmers like a hot water bottle. You need that, tea cozies and cups, scarves, beanies and gloves. And of course, to win, we want you to tell us who you would love to cozy up with this winter and why. You can share your hashtag cozy up story with us on our Expresso Facebook page. And of course, you and a loved one could be winning this amazing hamper and be cozying up together. Competition closes tomorrow at 11 a.m. So make sure that you get your entry in. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Do you want to see that one again? I want to see it again.
Can I have a sweat towel, please? Can I have a sweat towel? Okay.
Show the people.
Grip and dip.
Lekker man.
And edge. Yeah, okay. And there you go. Bam.
Flex.
Bicep grip and dip, baby.
Wow. Levels.
Cozy up this winter and dip a Oma.
Well, we're going to end off the morning with a bang. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we have the South African Youth Choir. They're ready for another performance. We'll see you in just a bit.
It's tough getting up in the morning. That's why for breakfast, I'm making eggs Benedict. Get it? I just love a good food pun. Share your photo and recipe of your favorite winter dish with the hashtag #ForTheLoveOfWinter, and you could win 5,000 Rand in weekly prizes and stand a chance to win a grand prize of 100,000 Rand. Rhodes quality for the love of winter.
Rise and shine with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, Tom Cruise is back for another action-packed blockbuster adventure in the new Mission Impossible Fallout movie. Now, when an IMF mission ends badly, the world is faced with dire consequences as Ethan Hunt takes it upon himself to fulfill his original briefing. The CIA begins to question his loyalty and his motives. He finds himself in a race against time, hunted by assassins and former allies while trying to prevent a global catastrophe.
And we've got 3 IMAX cinemas worth of seats. That's in Cape Town, Johannesburg and Durban for you and 3 friends to go see a pre-screening of this blockbuster adventure, and we'll include some popcorn and drinks too. Now, Mission Impossible Fallout, it opens at IMAX and Ster-Kinekor cinemas on the 27th of July.
But that's not all, because winners also stand a chance of winning one of 8 amazing home cleaning products, making those impossible cleaning missions possible with Karcher. Of course, all these amazing prizes are just an SMS away.
So simply SMS the keyword movie and your name and city to 33728, and that's a standard chance at winning. The competition will close tomorrow, the 19th of July at 5 p.m, and those T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
Right, so we are closing off the show. We have a couple of minutes left of your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning on this very, very special Wednesday. We have the South African Youth Choir with us in studio, and they've been making magic for us a little bit earlier on this morning. One more performance heading your way, but first up, Phil Robinson, choir master for the South African Youth Choir, joining us. Phil, thank you very much for you and the entire team for coming through this morning. It's been so special, and you guys got talent. You guys are good. You guys are good, and for good reason as well. We spoke about it earlier on, but just to reiterate, what's happening tonight? What can people look forward to?
Right, tonight is a performance at the St. George's Cathedral. It starts at 7 o'clock tonight. 4 international choirs and the South African Youth Choir that will also be there. And it's just a celebration of Nelson Mandela's birthday, 100th birthday.
I love that. Is there any way that people can still get involved or pull through if they can?
We can still actually, through the South African Youth Choir, we can offer them a discount on their tickets.
There we go.
If they send us a quick email to phil@sayc.co.za. It's PHIL, Phil, at sayc.co.za.
Lovely.
They can still get their tickets.
Oh, you give a bit of discount as well. And just to round off, I mean, this choir has achieved phenomenal successes as well throughout the course of their careers. But you are heading back to the US. You've been there previously, but you're heading back there later on this year.
Yes, yeah. We had a very successful tour last year, as we've mentioned earlier. And so we've been invited back by the International Music Exchange. So we'll be touring through 5 new states this year. And we're looking much forward to that.
Fantastic, and congratulations and good luck as well to all of you that guys going. Closing off performance, what's the last performance we can look forward to?
Hariba Pala, they will perform for you tonight.
Hariba Pala, here we go, the South African Youth Choir on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
Hariba Pala we moya utule. Hariba Pala we moya utule. Hariba Pala we moya utule. Hariba Pala, Hariba Pala, utule moya. Uri. Hariba Pala. Sikandama, Jesus kandama, Jesus kandama, Jesus kandama, Jesus kandama, Jesus kandama, Jesus kandama, Jesus kandama,
Another feel-good production.
Ganga,